Every time, without fail. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the live stream for May 2021 from us, the Sequelisers. I'm Jack, that's Matt, that's Tim. Tim has a delightful shirt on. Matt has the brand new Sequelisers t-shirt on. Look at that. Oh, yeah. I believe that's the patron exclusive one, right, Matt?
This Patreon £20 tier exclusive tee. There is another one for available for purchase, but this one is a limited print run. Once they're gone,
yeah, and they will probably be going up in the ones in the shop will be going up later this week. So they have arrived. They're all printed. We've got the packaging and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be getting those up very soon. And we've already got people in the chat. Hooray! Our man Stuart Main, first person to arrive. Hello, Stuart. Welcome to the live stream. I know Stuart hasn't been able to join us for a few of them, so it's good to see you, mate. Who else have we got in here? Bonjour from Andy Steen. Hello, Andy. How are you? Matthew's bringing in. Oh, and there's the one for the public store. There we go. Available on sequelisers.com/shop later this week. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Amazing artwork by one Mr. John Scarrett, of course.
I was like, I can't show you the buns. I was like, no, it's in a box behind me. Of course I can show you.
How are we sounding, by the way, ladies and gentlemen who are in the chat? Matt is a bit quiet, they're saying. I thought I was a bit loud earlier, is what Matt was saying. So, yeah, let us know how we're sounding.
What about now?
You're always the problem, Matt.
Is this obnoxiously loud? Is this okay? Is this acceptable? Can I do more for you? Is Tim muted?
Hello.
No,
I was just
fucking with us. The low key of Sequelisers. The only loud thing is Tim's shirt.
Ooh. Right. Sorry. I should be there. I should be good. I should be audible, hopefully. And I'm on the wrong thing, so I can't actually see the comments. Good God, it's like it's our first day in school. Don't know how to write anymore. Right, there we go.
You forget how to write your own name. You end up putting like Stodgson or something. Matthew Stodgson.
Putting all the wrong year when you write the date.
Oh God, yeah. When you come back for after the Christmas break, you're like 2020. Oh shit, no.
I've ruined this page. I'll have to start again.
Yeah.
It is Year of the Ox right now, isn't it, or something? Or what is it now?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
We did a branded post for it at work. That's how I know about that. The life of marketing people. I'm aware of it because there was a branded content that was posted about it.
I'm an ox, so, you know.
As is my wife.
That's no way to talk about your wife, Matthew. Mrs. Stockton's a very lovely woman.
Zodiacally speaking, she is a scorpion or
Zodiacally speaking.
That's a word.
I imagine I basically sung that to like Universally Speaking by the Chili Peppers in my head. Zodiacally speaking.
It makes about as much sense as any other Chili Peppers lyric.
Yeah, they're just absolute nonsense.
True. I'm a ram or a rat, which is...
Oh. I don't know what. I think I'm a horse, which, sure.
Horse cock.
Yeah, that absolutely. Any ideas for years of Chinese zodiac births in the comments, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, Year of the Rat for Andy Steen. There you go.
Yeah,
nice.
Brother Rat Boy.
Stuart, it's a rat, and zodiac-wise, a virgin. We missed you, Stuart. Nice to have you in the chat again.
So he's Remy from Ratatouille.
There you go. Controlling people by pulling their hair and stuff. Yeah.
Pubic hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Working your way in.
Is that like the thing where they put the bucket on your stomach and a rat in it?
A rat eats through.
You heat the bucket until it eats through your chest.
Medieval torture. And also, I think people know about it because of Game of Thrones now.
Yeah.
Medieval torture and also Ratatouille.
5 minutes in and we're already into medieval torture methods, so it's the sign
business
of a good
as
show.
usual.
Yep. Exactly. Welcome to Sequelisers, everybody. If this is your first time joining us on the live stream or viewing it,
if this is your first time
sequelising
on YouTube, you must sequelize.
Exactly.
No shirts, no shoes.
Oh, okay.
No shirt, no shoes, no sequel.
Don't tell me twice. I just keep seeing my demonic little face poking out there at the bottom of the screen. It's like, wait.
Can I like remove? If I remove your name, no, I can't.
We'll get.
There's a sneaky little Jack.
There's a little. Is that Egyptian me? That's Egyptian me. Isn't
it? And the most terrifying one is hiding behind the mic because it's mutant turtle.
Hello,
Tim.
Friends.
With a graveyard full of.
This is the fun you can have with one of these T-shirts, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, dirty minion.
A minion Tim is one of my favourites for sure.
We should point out because this image is reversed and mirrored and sort of flipped. I find it very difficult to navigate myself around. Yeah. So how have you all been?
Good. Yeah.
We haven't recorded like a week, so we haven't seen each other.
Yeah, this has been one of the longest periods between recording sessions. We've actually got one scheduled tomorrow, listeners. There you go. If you're listening live.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, I know. It's a bank holiday here in the UK, so we've got the day off work and stuff. I'm preparing to move jobs and also looking at moving house at the moment. Lots of stuff going on in the world. Got a new job, which is very exciting, which may involve podcasting. I did talk about it in the Discord. I know a few people we've had a chat in the Discord about it and stuff, which is very cool. But yeah, I might actually get paid to do podcasting for once, which would be lovely.
You're talking to the patrons who pay us to podcast?
Yeah, I know. But the money for this goes all back into printing of T-shirts and buying new microphones and upgrading our equipment and stuff.
Yeah, we give it back to you, the people.
Exactly. Have you got a Bane on there, Matt? Is there a Bane on there?
No, Bane is on the purple T-shirt.
Bane is on the purple T-shirt. Okay. I assume that's you as Bane, isn't it?
No, it's Tim. You can't tell because once you take away the beard and the bald head, it's the same face. No, it's me. It's correct.
Oh, there is a first-time watcher. Teddy Christensen. Hello, Teddy. Welcome to the live stream.
I believe Teddy recently upgraded his patron levels.
Indeed. Oh, we've got a guest for director as well, which is interesting. So we'll get to our director showdown very, very soon because it is a big one, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big boy. It's a boy. It's a beast. It is a beast. Any guesses? I have a guess for the director coming in from Andy. Another director fits the first clue, but I doubt it would be Polanski. I'll give you a clue. We will never do Roman Polanski. After I screamed about him saying I said very terrible things about him because he is a very terrible person.
Terribly
trying to keep it as PG as I can on the live stream because I went off on the fucking podcast.
We had to add a trigger warning on the episode to prepare.
We did.
We're going to talk about some very serious shit. So Polanski's a pass.
Kind of unavoidable with Roman Polanski. But yeah, we've got another couple of guesses coming in. Akira Kurosawa. Fantastic guess. I know Matt would absolutely love to do that. I'd absolutely love to do that.
True.
John doesn't know what the clues are. Here we go. I'll read out the clues for you. I gave 3 clues on Patreon when I announced the live stream. They were almost the director of Schindler's List. Their films have won Academy Awards and BAFTAs for 4 decades in a row. And they have acted in more films than they've directed, but have never won an award for acting. A variety of different clues spanning a vast career, a multitude of decades, many awards won and not won in the case.
I was saying like not lost, just not won.
Yeah, not lost, not won. But yeah, we've it's a big one.
I don't want to say much to give it away. I know we're going to spoil within like 2 seconds. And for those who are watching this on YouTube, hello. And also, you know what this is from the title of the fucking video and the thumbnail.
You can see the thumbnail,
yeah. But this is going to be probably up there with the Coens as one of the most difficult ones to do. Not only because of the placement on the brackets, but because so many of these films are going to be so good and possibly so important to so many people.
This ain't your Ron Howard safe pair of hands. I think I've seen that one and it was fine.
Yeah, Ron Howard's a tricky one to be fair sometimes.
I haven't actually looked at the bracket for this one. I'm interested to see how it falls.
The bracket is very interesting. Matt, you brought when lovely Mr. John Scarrett created the bracket for us, as he always does. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, those of you who saw last month's one, this one isn't GIFs and isn't going to melt your brain every time you look at it. It is still images.
Great, but it was eating my what you call it, bandwidth. I was like,
bandwidth, yeah. Exactly. We've got to fucking hell. Joseph Kaczynski. No, Stuart. You go, fuck off, Stuart. You Tron-loving motherfucker.
I mean,
he's not wrong.
Do it, apparently.
George Lucas, I guess, from John there as well.
George Lucas's 5 or 6 films people can
name. Yeah, exactly. Hardly any like
one out by Red Tails in a surprise.
God, yeah.
I'm the most appropriate person to talk about the Tuskegee Airmen. Problem solved.
Yes.
Well, there's the thing I never want to see. George Lucas's Schindler's List.
Oh,
fuck me.
Oh, God.
Hey, what do you know? No, Watto does not need to be in Schindler's List.
all the Jews talk like Toydarian.
Oh, that was so awful.
God.
And the thing is, he'd be like, I didn't do it intentionally. No, maybe you didn't, but that's part
Hey, your Nazi man tricks won't work on me. I'm a Toydarian. Nazi mind tricks. God. That's what we need.
Anyway,
we're already off the rails, ladies and gentlemen.
Should we talk about what it is and then do what we have planned, or not?
I think we need to go. We need to go in because somebody has already guessed it in the chat, just as a big spoiler. Somebody went in straight away with the correct answer. It is, of course, Martin Scorsese, arguably the best film director ever. One of the best ever. Has made some of the best films ever. I can't reiterate how good this group of films is. I know we said this with the Coen brothers, but this is a fucking banger of a list. You can already imagine the stuff that is on Martin Scorsese's list. Shall I bring up the... Should we reveal and go through the process?
And we'll come back to it later when we've done our little intro
exactly.
Stuff. Yes.
So let's have a look. I'll go full screen with it just to show you guys.
Yeah.
Here it is.
I won't zoom too much because I think we'll save that for when we go in much.
When we go through them, we'll go. We'll break it down. We'll go through it. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the films of Martin Scorsese in all its wonderful glory. It's a hell of a group, hell of a bracket, and we're going to get into that later on. So yeah, very very shortly. So. For those of you who are new, Matt, do you want to set things up for how this stuff works, how the Director Showdown works, if people haven't seen our previous live streams before?
Yes.
Thank God for that. I was worried. If you'd have just said no.
So essentially speaking, we have a bracket based on a seeded list. And for those who don't know how any sporting tournament works, a seeded bracket is supposed to be a way to evenly distribute the best teams, as it were, or the best element or players or whatever it is. In this case, we go by IMDb rating, just because it's easier. Don't know, Rotten Tomatoes, it's just a clean thing.
We always talk about Rotten Tomatoes. I've got all the Rotten Tomatoes and all the box office stuff.
Yeah.
As we go through individual films and stuff like that. But yeah,
and it gets tricky when you got. I imagine on Rotten Tomatoes 100, 100, 100, 98, 98, 98. But the point is, we do that. We divvy them all up. They go into a specific bracket. We then give that to John Scarrett. He makes up this wonderful image, and we go through each individual thing. 2 of the various films work on the outside. We go towards the middle. We have a winner in the final. Now, the way it works is actually very, very simple. It's why we can never do this without all 3 of us here. We pull up a film and another film. We discuss basically when it was released, kind of things about it, our general rough opinions of the whole thing. Obviously, we listen to you guys if you've I've never even heard of that one.
That happened quite a few times before, but I think most of these are big enough and famous enough that I think quite a few people will have seen them.
I agree. And then what we do is after we have discussions, we have a vote, and it starts in this case Jack, Matt, Tim, and then the next sort of a pairing Matt, Tim, Jack, then Tim, Jack, Matt, and that way it means that you can go through. But it also means because there's 3 of us, the voting is quite unanimous. There's very rarely any sort of tie. There's no odd jobs. If we haven't seen something specifically, we throw out to you, the audience, on the live stream. See what you guys think. What's the general consensus, and things move through. And then by the time we get to this, the semi-finals, the quarterfinals, that sort of stuff, you end up with, we've been through these movies, and then it becomes really problematic. However,
once you filter out all the crap, you get to the real good stuff, and it gets difficult.
And we've done Ridley Scott and Ron Howard. There's some bits like, oh, this is just trash. Well, get rid of this. Get rid of this. Well, this might be very problematic for this one because the man don't make bad movies. Scorsese has Scorsese
don't miss.
Yeah. And even his meh releases are still like absolute classics. So
I mean, we talked about this in our Godfather episode way back when.
Yeah.
A previous season finale, including a little plush toy and everything as a prize. And the fact that Godfather Part 3 is still better than most movies. It's just not one of the best films ever made, and the other two are two of the best films ever made. So it's like this incredibly high bar, and it's like an 8 out of 10, and the rest are like 11 out of 10. So it's like, well, you know, it looks bad in comparison, but it's still. I would rather watch The Godfather Part 3 than most other films coming out of the cinemas at the moment and on Netflix and all this kind of stuff.
It attempts more, it says more, it does more, but it doesn't do as much as what has been done before.
Yeah, exactly.
So we worked through all those things, and there's some from the very get-go, there are some huge films that are squaring off against each other. And then we announce a winner. It's very controversial. People get angry and invested.
Andy's already jumping in. I think we're going to have a few hills people will die on with these films.
Oh, most definitely.
Very much so, yes. Yeah.
And, I'd be surprised if there'll be a few people like, I've never heard of that one, but I don't think there'll be a great deal of them. But yes, before we get to that, Tim at the start of our little recording session said, I got a little thing. Do you want to go with that? Now, admittedly, we have no idea what this is. We might say, oh, this was a terrible idea, Tim. But I'm curious. Tim, you said you had a little quiz for us. What's the quiz?
So it's a game. I don't think we've played it before, but it's a game. I think I invented it. It's one of those ones where it's like
it's called Boggle. Have you ever heard?
Yeah, I either invented it
Pictionary.
or I heard someone else playing it. But it's just a warm up game, perhaps.
I love it.
To get us started. It's not at all related to Scorsese. But it's a fun game that we can come back to pretty much infinitely whenever we need. Whenever we need 5 minutes of content. So this is a game called Nipples Visible Through Clothing.
Tim, that does sound like you invented that.
What are you talking about, Tim?
Might not really.
It is a game that uses the wonder that is the IMDb plot keyword system.
So there is a game on the IGN UK podcast called Keyword Countdown that they do that is basically like what's the Doug Loves Movies one? The Leonard Maltin game where you're given keywords and you have to guess the film kind of thing. Is it similar to that?
Yeah, I mean pretty much. I have not listened to the IGN show, so I didn't steal it from there, but it'll be very similar. I've picked a film out. I'm going to give you some keywords from it, and it's the first person to buzz in and tell me which film that I'm describing, and I will endeavour to start with the more obscure stuff and work my way towards the more obvious.
Of course. And both of us will go.
Yeah. So obviously, feel free to play along in the chat. Let me just arrange my screen so I can see both things at the same time. I will tell you the year that this film came out.
Okay.
So you're not completely in the dark.
That's helpful.
It's a film from 1999.
Okay.
The Matrix. Buzz. Sorry, Tim.
So I shall start. Yeah, if you want to yell out your own name when you want to buzz in, and I will stop the.
You may not know this, but I was born Buzz Aldrin, so I will name Buzz when I've got my thing.
Fair enough.
That's a lie.
Okay. Right. Let's start, and I'm just picking these out, not semi-randomly.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's start with reference to Iron Maiden. Surprise ending.
Jack.
Go for it.
Is it called Loser? That film with Jason Biggs?
No.
One with teenage dirtbag.
That is a film, but it's not that film.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Title spoken by character.
Buzz.
Okay.
Fight Club?
No.
Didn't think I had made it. Carry on.
Reference to Iron Maiden. I should get that. Fuck.
Neo-noir.
Ooh.
Covered female frontal nudity.
Sorry, covered female frontal nudity.
I guess that means the
sure
kind
I
of
understand
like
what that is.
like
Jack?
Your t-shirt, you're naked, but you're holding up a blanket in front of you.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, Jack, you've got a guess?
Neo noir. Dark City.
No. Pushed into water.
1999.
Yeah, 99 is a tricky
Art gallery.
one. Okay.
Camera focus on female butt.
Oh,
Buzz,
That's-
American Pie.
No.
another Jason. We're only racing. It's the Jason Biggs round.
Yeah.
We're running out very quickly.
Millennium.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Insurance underwriter.
I want to say it's fucking...
Sexual
Club.
tension.
1999. Jack. High
for it.
Fidelity?
Oh,
No.
I don't know.
No.
That's mid-90s.
As earlier.
Jewel heist.
What the fuck is this movie?
Scotsman.
What?
Oh, Buzz.
What?
Shit, what's it called? With Catherine Zeta-Jones. Entrapment.
Correct.
Oh,
Fuck
nice.
me. Only on Scotsman did I have it. What? Oh my god, that was hard.
My next few picks would have been
Lasers.
that Laser is on there. I was also
Yeah.
going to go with Patronus Towers, which is where the heist takes place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Well done, Matt.
We got
Yep.
a thing. Should we have another one?
Yeah.
We can do another one.
Best
Yeah.
of 3.
Yeah.
Cool. Give me a year.
Frontal nudity. No, okay. Let's
2000 and...
2016, because we
Okay, yeah.
love
2016.
2016.
Okay.
No, in terms of like for those listening, we did our film years, and my favorite film years were 1999 and 2016. So,
And that was the year of Trump election and Brexit. So, yeah, great year.
yeah, it was a
great
shit
choice.
year for politics, great year for art.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is actually. And Handmaiden. I feel like a grubby old man now, but
Don't pick the Handmaiden. It's not fair. 2016.
Okay. I'm gonna go for this one. So obviously 2016 we've got the year.
yes.
And I shall start giving you some keywords in a moment once my computer loads. Here we go.
And Tim freezes.
Yeah. True identity revealed.
2016. Tried.
Villain not really dead cliche. One woman army.
Okay.
No title at beginning.
Ooh.
Jack.
Go for it.
Have you picked this on purpose? Is it Resident Evil Afterlife?
No.
Like, that's a very anti-Tim pick.
Interracial relationship.
Oh.
Okay.
Impaled by a piece of metal.
Jack.
Go for it.
Batman v Superman. Dawn of
No.
Justice. Damn it.
Oh fuck. Thank God.
Let's pick something. Whiskey.
I just thought of a thing. You cheating bitch.
3-word title.
3-word title. Yeah, Resident Evil Afterlife still works for that, but no.
Ends with a dedication.
Has Matt frozen, by the way?
I don't think so.
He's just thinking very hard.
Unless he has.
Matt.
He has just sent a message that says, for fuck's sake.
Oh, no, he's gone. Brilliant. Well, I'm on my own.
Yeah.
What next, Tim?
Shall I just continue listing things? Matt can
go
jump back in when he likes.
Go for it.
Let's go. Tragic heroine.
Oh, tragic heroine. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Hey, Matt.
Hey.
We're now in the wrong order, but that's
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Oh no.
That'll teach you, Tim.
I was Beyonce for a brief
I'm sorry.
moment.
I don't know what happened there, other than the internet.
Matt's either frozen or very disciplined. That was his thinking face. Was just.
Oh shit! I wait. I'll watch this on the YouTube rerun.
No, you were very pensive. You were just
Yes,
staring
you
in
were
the
kind of
distance.
like-
You were
That
just
is
like.
my resting face. Just... Okay. Did I miss any amazing clues? Did Jack get it?
No.
Jack didn't. Jack hasn't got it.
Rogue One.
No.
Damn.
If you'd have got Rogue One, I'd have been pissed
I don't know,
off.
we're whisking it, but okay. Sorry, yes.
Motorcycle stunt.
Ooh.
Okay.
When did the Raid 2 come out? No.
Directed by co-star.
Oh. I have no idea. 2016.
Let's start going
2016.
a little bit more obvious.
Okay.
Disintegration.
In 2016.
Lifted by the throat.
Okay.
I'm stuck on superhero movies for some reason. I don't know why.
Asteroid belt.
What?
Oh, I thought I had it there for a second.
Oh,
Sorry,
Buzz. Yeah.
Passengers.
Incorrect.
Fucking passengers.
Buzz 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Incorrect.
that's not
I feel like
asteroid
Jack. I feel like Jack was buzzing at the same time as you were. So.
Yeah.
Well, I just said, I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up to the time when I was frozen in ice and carbonite.
Independence Day Resurgence?
No.
Okay.
Shape shifting.
Buzz.
What?
Matt.
Dark Phoenix.
No.
Damn it, that wasn't even 2016.
No, it wasn't.
Apocalypse was 2016.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix is 2018. I think.
Buzz.
Same. Okay, Matt.
Apocalypse?
No.
If it was, I'd be fucked
Oh, you'd
off.
be so fucking livid. That'd be great because they'd be so pissed off.
I'm pretty sure Apocalypse is 2016 because that's the Batman v Superman year is like burnt into my brain.
Same-sex kiss. Human in outer space.
Buzz, Jack,
Go for it.
Star Trek Beyond.
Correct.
Ah.
Thought interracial kiss was a horror and stuff. That makes sense.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this
Yeah.
Iron Maiden's the other one, or was this one?
What?
That was a different
Oh
one.
my god, it was 1999.
You already got the
I
Iron
was so
Maiden.
frozen in time. I feel like Captain America.
You were
I'm
so frozen
lost.
you went back in time.
Yeah, Jesus. Okay, sorry.
Okay, let's go to the
Nothing.
comments.
Oh, it's one all now.
Oh, JFC got it right as well.
Well done.
Star Trek
Yeah.
Beyond.
He
Got
twice.
it right, and then shouted it once another.
Yeah.
clue
Got it
confirmed
right
I'm pretty
in
sure.
all lowercase for some reason, and then all uppercase for some reason.
I know why. Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek Beyond. That's how.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
you're drawing at the moment. So give me another
Decided.
year.
Jack, I'll let you choose this one if you like.
I was going to go 2008 originally, so let's go for that.
Okay.
Okay.
No, for no particular reason. It's just the year that popped in my head.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
don't remember
particularly-
2008 at all. Wait. I remember 2008. That was the fucking writer's strike year. Shit.
I know a couple of films that came out that year off the top of my head. Apart from that, I don't remember much. So
Okay. This'll
we'll be fine.
Okay. Some interesting ones here. Okay, I think this has got potential.
JFC's come in straight with a guess before Tim's even started. Right, I'll get
It's
rid
not-
of the
it's not
comments.
Dark
So I'm not
Knight.
cheating.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. Okay. Reference to Orpheus and Eurydice.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, what? That was not what I was expecting.
Musical sequence in non-musical work.
Okay.
Lens flare.
Oh, fucking hell.
What was directed by J.J. Abrams in 2008? It was a
Super.
year before Star Trek. Star Trek's 2009.
Feces.
Oh, brilliant.
Writing on steamed over mirror with finger.
Oh.
That's really specific. Compared to feces, that's so specific.
Yeah.
Based on novel.
Oh.
Police station.
What?
Brother versus brother.
Brother
Buzz.
will kill brother.
Matt.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Correct.
Oh, well done, Matthew.
Yes.
Well done.
I like that film a lot still. A lot of people don't
Nice.
fell out of favor, but I really think it's really good.
We had a
Shit,
few.
son.
You had a few guesses. 2-1 to Matthew. Well done. Well done.
Whew.
We had a few
I love that
guesses.
the happening was a guess.
They're happening. Feces. They're happening.
Yes.
It was genuinely. It was, like,
Cloverfield. I had Cloverfield in my mind because I know that's 2008.
it was the shit that did it for me. It was like that. What film was like? The shit was so prominent.
Yeah.
And there's that scene where he falls into the toilet. It was literally he was swimming in shit. It's like
Yep.
nice.
Yeah,
It's the
brother
poop that
versus
gets
brother
it
in
for you.
Slumdog. I don't remember it. Well,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
it's
clearly.
Like the major.
That's the main conflict. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
I still think it was great. I
Brother,
think
brother
Boyle did a
versus
great job.
brother, and also brother versus quiz.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
two essential conflicts that mankind can face.
There's internal conflict, external conflict, and man versus quiz.
Yeah.
It's the three stages of possible conflict. Right. With that out of the way, well done, Matt. Well done, Tim. That's a nice little game.
That
I like
was
that.
good. I
We'll do
like
more.
that.
We'll do more of that.
A lot of us just staring off, going,
Good job. It's not an
Yeah.
audio podcast
Yes.
because there's been
Flaming
lots of
bra.
editing. Yeah.
Well, actually, the outtakes on one of our most recent episodes.
One of the
was-
quizzes.
I think, yeah, was a quiz. And was like 20 minutes longer, but there was so much silence.
I
and
mean,
the guys just like,
it was an hour long, and you're like, it ended up being 30 in the edit. I was like, Christ, oh God! You just sit there being like, oh, I don't know, and then yeah, great.
yeah.
Here's a good shout, and one we talked about before actually. One of Boyle's best. He'd be a good choice for Director Showdown.
I've talked about it.
I
Yeah.
love me some Danny Boyle. Not a bad idea, John. Not a bad idea. Right. Speaking of Director Showdown, let's get stuck in, shall we? With
Yes.
Martin motherfucking Scorsese. Let's do it. Matthew, you're in control. You'll be scrolling around and zooming in and all this kind of stuff and showing us the various. Da-na-na-na. There you go.
films of Martin Scorsese. Right. So let's just
Famous
look at the.
Irish American Martin
Yep.
Scorsese.
Yep. We'll take him.
What are
So
you talking about? It's the films of Scorsese.
Got a lot of that to look forward to. Just like the Analyze That episode where we
Yeah,
just did all
yeah.
our De Niro impressions.
terrible impressions, but also
Yeah.
terribly good. So
Terribly
I'm going to
fun.
go through basically the very, very rough who's against who without going into too much detail about what they are, just so you can see what the brackets are in detail.
We'll get into details as we go through individually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see how close I actually want to be.
That works.
That's decent. That's solid. Snake. Right. Okay. So we have on the outside first, because it is the outside view. Meat Streets versus The Age of Innocence, and the winner of that goes against Goodfellas.
Yikes.
Good luck.
Fuck. King of Comedy versus The Irishman.
Okay.
We have Hugo against Bringing Out the Dead, which will then go to face Taxi Driver.
Christ.
Raging Bull versus The Aviator. That's the entire left-hand flank, the west stable, as it were. On the outside, we have Silence versus The Color of Money, and that goes up against The Departed.
The best screenshot of Jack Nicholson.
And cheese-eating rat fuck. Then you've got Shutter Island versus The Last Temptation of Christ. The remake of Cape Fear versus Kundun, which goes on to be against The Wolf of Wall Street. And then finally, Casino against Gangs of New York.
What a fucking banger list right there, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
that's intense.
New York.
So let's do what we do previously. And for those who are new to the show, hi!
Hello.
I don't ever talk like that. We like to have a little guess in our heads. Like, just say, what's our favourite Scorsese film and what do we think is going to win? Because while we have a certain element of control over that, because obviously it's us doing the quiz, it's logic. We use logic quite a lot here from the previous winners. And again, one day we might have a Champion of Champions round where we get all the previous winners up against each other. That'd be fucking crazy. So let's go through the list of three of us. What would you say is your favourite? And I'm not saying the best, your favourite Martin Scorsese film.
My favourite is The Departed. I fucking love that movie. And I watched it with a group of friends. I think I'd seen a bit of it before and was like, oh, it looks really good. Let's all watch it together in like a, everybody watch film and have a few drinks and stuff. It is not one of those films, ladies and gentlemen. You need to fucking pay attention to that movie and appreciate it. Whereas a few drinks in and we're like 2 hours in and they're like, this is boring. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just there like, this is the best film I've seen in like a decade. This is amazing. I can't remember if I was sober at that point or not, but I might have been drinking as well. But I was way more captivated than like the other 4 or 5 people in the room, and have since gone back and watched it multiple times since, and it's one of my favorite films. It makes Mark Wahlberg tolerable. That's how good that film is. Mark Wahlberg puts in a good performance. That's how good that film is. I fucking hate Mark Wahlberg. And he's brilliant.
If you have somebody, an actor, director's harder because of the amount of control, but an actor, I always maintained that an actor you despise, like really, I fucking can't stand that person. There's a perfect film out there, or maybe hopefully a few, we go, God damn, they're the best thing in that movie. That was so good. That was, at that moment, I love them in that. It's like, but you hate them. I know. And I still do. Yeah. But there. And I like finding out what that is for people. So, Tim, what about you?
I would also pick The Departed.
Really? Oh, wow.
Partially because it's the first Scorsese.
Be controversial.
It's the first Scorsese that I saw in the cinema.
Oh, nice.
And I hadn't seen a lot of his stuff at that point. So it might. I don't think it could be the first of his that I saw, but it was certainly early in that point. Yeah, so it stuck with me because it was so it's so fucking good. So many great performances. Yeah, it's incredible.
I don't think I've seen a Martin Scorsese film in the cinema.
Oh,
ever. I'm just I'm looking through the list right now. I'm like, nope, didn't see that in the cinema.
Interesting.
That would have been the only one that I would have.
I mean, that's his possibly his biggest hit, like in terms of certainly in terms of box
Island
office.
was, and then Wolf of Wall Street became the biggest one.
Yeah,
I find that fascinating numbers wise, but you know,
we'll get into that box office and the Rotten Tomatoes is kind of hilarious, as you can imagine. 95, 93, 91, 99, all that kind of stuff. So.
You do have to wonder who are these critics who are just being deliberately obtuse and just being like, Goodfellas, piece of shit.
It would be like, it's a bit too violent and they swore too much. It'd be that kind
excessive.
of bollocks.
It's a bit too much. What's wrong with him?
Yeah. Matt, how about you? What's your favourite Scorsese?
Well, amazingly, there's actually a big, strong similarity, but... So, for the longest of time in my mind, I would say it was between Raging Bull and The Departed.
Okay.
However, if I think about it, hand on heart, my favourite one that I'll go, fuck, I love that movie. As in just enjoy it for myself. It's X film, which I'm about to say in a second. And the reason is the exact same one as Tim's. It was the first one of Scorsese's I saw in the cinema. I was 18 years old. It was Gangs of New York.
Okay.
Ooh,
nice. Okay.
And I fucking loved it. And I still love it so much. Because, obviously, you know, Irish-American fucking story of all the amazing actors. But Daniel Day-Lewis coming out of retirement for this fucking thing. I'm just being a fucking powerhouse beast. We'll get into the details, but
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. One of the best moustaches ever.
Damn right. Holds a special place in my heart, that film.
Yeah. Was that the influence for your moustache, Matt? That was like the.
I'll tell you what.
Did you already have a mustache at that point, or were you like,
oh,
I know where my life is
18.
headed now? I've seen Gangs of New
No,
York.
because I thought I would grow a big full beard like my dad, and my brother. I grew this because that's what DNA and genetics told me to do.
You can't get the cheeks.
Yeah, people. There's a great thing I think about Brian David Gilbert pointed out about hair. It's like, oh, I really want my hair to do this. It's like your hair's going to do 5 or 10 things. You may want this, you may want that. Same thing with facial hair.
10? Like if it does 10 things,
you can shave half of it off,
I mean,
quarter of it off, all of it off, undercut.
You can do Keith from The Prodigy and just do one down the middle.
See, all kinds of things. But mostly you can do like there's a cowlick here and there's a fold here. You're going to get that.
Yeah.
But the point is that with facial hair, you get what you're given, and it's shitty. And some people want other things, but yeah. Anyway, so
I have like a stripe on my chin. I don't know if you can. Hold on. If you can see that.
Yeah, I've always noticed that.
Yeah,
that was intentional.
Yeah. I just shave a little bit down the middle of my chin.
Tram line.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've covered our favourites, and this is the hardest one to say in from the jump. Who do you think is going to win this?
Well, I'm fascinated that all three of us had The Departed in our list. I thought I was going to be like Jack picked Departed. That's interesting. You know how I always say like, oh guys, I've got a really hot take this episode. And I come in and like, so you won't believe it. I don't like this movie. And you're like, yeah, of course you don't. It's a bad film, Jack. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, fuck. I thought it was cool and unique and down with the kids. And no, it's the obvious choice, Jack. Shut the fuck up. You're mainstream. Shut up. You're basic bitch. I thought I was going to be the cool one. You'd be like Godfather, Goodfellas, blah blah blah.
Is the new insult. We'll have to throw at you now. Yeah.
Sure. By the way, if you didn't already know, viewers and listeners, Tim is the coolest of the three of us by a fucking country mile. As you can tell by that shirt, and the fact that he knows words that we don't.
Yes.
Hey, we got a John Scarrett in the chat.
We do.
Who let you out?
Sequelizer. Hello, John. Welcome to the live stream. He is responsible, for those of you who don't know, for that lovely graphic in front of you, the bracket, the logo, the design, that T-shirt that Matt is wearing right now.
If you can't stop looking at Jack Nicholson's face.
There you go, Matt.
So much.
There we go. Look at that beautiful T-shirt. He's responsible for that and Jack Nicholson's face going.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's all you need. Right. Should we get stuck in?
No, who do you think is going to
win? By the sounds of it, Departed, which is weird. I had assumed Goodfellas going in. Would be my guess.
Yeah. Tim?
I think it's going to come down to a Goodfellas versus Departed finale.
That was predicted by...
I believe someone...
Andy Steen.
Andy Steen. And then I don't know if it's going to be... If it's going to be favourites are going to win out, or if we're going to take into account kind of the weight of history and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean,
I vote with my heart, Tim. Just letting you know right now. I may be the stats and the research man, but I vote with my heart. I'll give you the stats and then say fuck the stats. This is my favourite. How about you, Matt? What do you think?
I'm inclined to agree. I think it's such a really tricky fucker. But it's either Goodfellas or Departed. I think. Keep hitting the mic, sorry. I think. But let's get down to brass nipples. So we've got 4 outside brackets. Shall we begin?
Yes, let's get stuck in.
Whoa! Mean Streets versus no. There you go. Versus The Age of Innocence. For those who don't know, Mean Streets is effectively as good as Martin Scorsese's breakout hit, his first big film
from 1973. Yeah.
Right. What you know, and the sort of people he grew up with and stuff like that, and it's his early foray into the Italian gangster kind of world, and it's really fucking good.
As you can see, starring Harvey Keitel. Yeah.
And again, Robert De Niro's in it as well. Just a fantastic movie. The other one is a very strange turn, which everyone was sort of surprised by. That's Age of Innocence, which is literally just the adaptation of the Edith Wharton book, The Age of Innocence, and it's a period drama with Daniel Day-Lewis and Michelle Pfeiffer and a bunch of other people.
Winona Ryder, Richard E. Grant.
Exactly.
Yeah, loads of people.
But it was rated U, as in for all audiences, and it's like, wait, this is Martin fucking Scorsese, you fucking cocksucker motherfucker, stabbing, shooting, gunning. It's like, yeah, and now he's done a period drama. It's like, what? And it's really fucking good. So this is a tricky one. I mean, let's do the thing we always do to start with, gentlemen. Have you seen either, if not both, of these movies?
I have seen Mean Streets. I have not seen Age of Innocence.
I have seen both.
Nice.
Yeah, The Age of Innocence is, let's face it, even like the biggest, like, I'm a Martin Scorsese fan. I've seen Boxcar Bertha. I've seen all the other stuff. I've seen Age of Innocence. I'm getting around to it.
Yeah, period drama is not my jam, man. That's just not something that interests me. Not something I'm going to run out and get out of my way to view.
We'll probably come back to this, but I think it's interesting that because Scorsese kind of had a little bit of a fallow period in the sort of mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because when I was growing up and first getting into film, he wasn't really the same. Like, he was a big name in the 80s, and he's become a big name again now. And obviously also there's a lot of people who now point to him as a massive influence and stuff like that. But there was a period around the time when he was making stuff like The Age of Innocence and Kundun and stuff like that, where people were just like, oh, maybe he's lost a step. And then...
Which is what they said about Brian De Palma and Francis Ford Coppola, and the only one who was sort of surviving of that original burst out period, and George Lucas, the other one was surviving was Steven Spielberg. So you're right, it was Martin Scorsese be like, oh, maybe he's fallen off a little bit.
So it's interesting because I think that's why I was late coming to him, is that at that period he wasn't as much of a name that was held up as someone who was like essential to filmmaking. Like, obviously films of his were pointed to and gone like, oh, that's a great film, but it was more like, oh, he's someone who's kind of burnt through his talent, and he's going to put out solid films, but they're not the same. Yes. Which is interesting that he managed to then turn that around in a lot of ways. And I think I would maybe point to The Departed as the moment that happened. Maybe returning to crime.
Well, he was finally acknowledged by the Academy in terms of winning an award for the first time.
Anyway, all of that's to say,
yeah,
I prefer The Age of Innocence to Mean Streets.
Ooh.
I've only seen one, so I can't really vote. So
I think Mean Streets is an amazing debut.
Yeah.
But I think it covers a lot of stuff that Scorsese would go on to do better. Whereas The Age of Innocence is him doing something
I agree with
really
that. Yeah.
different. It's taking the tools that he's learned and going like, okay, let's tell the kind of story that I just do not tell normally.
Yeah.
And
that's an artistic talent to be able to say. It's like saying I'm the David Bowie, if you will. The whole I'm spectacular at playing the piano. I'm spectacular at singing. Spectacular at guitar. What's this? It's a saxophone. Fuck it. I'll master that too. And you're like, holy shit. That kind of, to quote The Departed, it's the whole like, what can I use you for? It's like, give me a tuba, I'll give you something out of it. That kind of thing. It's like, incidentally, what would usually happen now, as Jack has acknowledged he hasn't seen one, is unsure, we might throw out to you guys and things. However, if Tim votes the way he does, we'll see how it goes in the vote in a second. We may not have to.
I think he already has.
Tim, you jumped the gun, you little bastard.
No, I apologize.
No, Tim, don't no to apologize at all. So let's start with you, Tim, because you were going to vote for Age of Innocence. Is that correct?
That I am voting for Age of Innocence.
Boys, I am too.
There you go. Through it goes.
Reason. Mean Streets is fantastic. I recommend it to you. Seriously, watch it, but it gets refined later in his abilities and skills.
Yep. In terms of Rotten Tomatoes, by the way, Mean Streets,
yes,
95%. Get used to the 90% above, by the way, listeners and viewers. Age of Innocence, 84%, which is still pretty fucking high.
But we know that's the hardcore fans saying, he's done something weird. He's done something different. It's not bloody and violent. I don't understand it. It's
exactly.
Like, yeah. But yeah.
Oh, it's Daniel Day-Lewis being a like period drama romance interest. Like, okay.
Yeah. Fantastic movie though. We recommend it. Right. Let's scroll down. This one might be a little bit cleaner. So Hugo versus Bringing Out the Dead. Bringing Out the Dead is as Tim mentioned, that 90s fallow period. This is 1999. Bring Out the Dead. It's not that it's bad. It's just very strange and very unique about an ambulance driver in New York. Very weird shifts. Very
Nicolas Cage, as you can tell by the
and very
the
90s. Lots of really interesting edits and cuts and things. And Hugo is 2011. Scorsese's foray into 3D. And really good 3D.
And kids films.
And the kids films, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. It's because Hugo is such as John Firth Clark has just mentioned in the chat. Hugo starts out as literally just as a kid film about it's about some sort of strange clockwork boy, and like this is about Georges Méliès and silent cinema. And Scorsese loves his city, i.e. New York, and he loves cinema. And
Wait,
that
what?
comes across so much.
Nobody told me he loves New York and old school cinema.
And food. He loves food. So two very, very disparate films, and again shows how his range and his talent. Gentlemen, have you seen them?
Yes, both.
I've not seen Bringing Out the Dead. We're getting my ones I haven't seen out of the way pretty early.
The Fringe is always going to do that.
Yeah. But I have seen Hugo.
I believe Bringing Out the Dead, I think, is the only Scorsese film on Disney Plus.
Wow. That's a shout there, Tim. There you go.
Weird. That's very weird. Okay.
In terms of Rotten Tomatoes, we'll compare
Yes,
the
please.
two. Bringing Out the Dead from 1999, as you said, Matt, is 72%. One of the lower scores.
Which is still higher than most of the films we're going to cover.
It's
like
still
this season.
certified fresh. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Hugo, we're back up there. It's 93%.
Damn, son.
Yeah, people love Hugo.
Yeah.
I like Hugo as well.
Hugo's
I
great.
wouldn't give it that high of a score, but bear in mind, Rotten Tomatoes is the scoring of all the percentage of positive reviews, which is a 6 out of 10 or higher, 3 out of 5 or higher, 60% or higher. That counts as a positive review. So, yeah.
I'm just going to have a quick check and see if I reviewed Hugo.
Here's an interesting question from Jonathan Firth Clark.
Yeah.
Are we saying that Scorsese is the greatest living working director? It sounds like it from all these high scores.
Bong Joon-ho says yes.
I think it's a pretty fucking difficult thing to argue against. Sorry, I'm
Yes.
get my words correct. He has put out such incredible films, and like I said, the teaser was he has won Academy Awards and BAFTAs every decade for the last 4 decades. and like I said, as we'll get through, it's all 90%. Once you get past a couple of these ones in the opening rounds, it is 93, 95, 99, 91. It is ridiculous. So I would argue that he probably is, yes.
We should point out.
I think he's the first name that everyone would go to if you asked them
Yeah.
that, and they had a decent working knowledge of film and stuff.
Especially if you're more familiar with Western cinema. Like you mentioned Bong Joon-ho there, Matt. Like there are plenty of other directors from Korea and Japan and other areas of the world that don't get the recognition that they should do and aren't known to mainstream audiences here in the UK or in the US or English-speaking parts of the world. But as you said, Tim, when somebody says, who's the greatest living director, you get that flick in your head and instantly think, oh, I guess it's Martin Scorsese. Isn't it? And almost everybody, like you said, who has any knowledge of film of the last 4 decades in the English-speaking world is like, it's probably Scorsese. You think like, there's Spielberg, there's a few other things, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, but it's probably Scorsese though, isn't it?
It's longevity and opportunity. The fact that he has worked hard for a very long period of time, and he's old, which means he has proven himself over multiple decades, and now he's so established. And the thing is, while we say, he's established, he's old Hollywood, there's a reason he didn't win an Oscar until the 2000s for Best Director. The industry kind of doesn't like him in terms of, they like him now, obviously, but some people are very picky about him. He's a director's director, basically. He does kind of whatever he wants to do, and he does it really fucking well.
Yep.
Yeah. But just so I did review Hugo, and this is going to influence my score, and I think it's Jack voting first, but I was just going to throw this out here.
I haven't seen both, so I don't get to vote.
Fair. Well, in that case, it's me first, in which case I'm saying I gave Hugo a 5 out of 5.
Wow.
I said exquisite, passionate, and thoroughly engrossing storytelling from a director at the peak of his creativity. I still stand by that shit.
So Bringing Out the Dead then, man.
Bring Out the Dead. I like ambulances.
I like Nicolas Cage. And I know what I like, and it's Nicolas Cage and ambulances.
Give me the defibrillator.
That's not a bad Nicolas Cage.
It was not great. I'll have.
I didn't say it was great. I said it was not bad.
It's not perfect, Jack. It's not uncanny. Right, no, my vote is for Hugo.
I think Bringing Out the Dead's not bad. Like, I think there's interesting stuff in it. And I quite like Cage's performance in it. I think Scorsese gets a good performance out of him.
He does.
Which, Cage always gives a performance. Whether it's a good one or not. But no, I think Hugo is better. I think someone in the chat, I think it was Teddy, asked, should not a not very avid movie watcher see Hugo? And I think
yes.
it does, because I think it's anchored in a story that's pretty universal.
I would argue it might be one of his most accessible films, just because of the family-friendly nature of it. This is one you could sit down with your family and watch pretty comfortably, whether you have like younger siblings or kids of your own, or with your parents or whatever it is. Some of the other stuff can be pretty tough to watch. You don't really, like I said, I got a bunch of mates and we all got drunk and watched The Departed, which is not the way to watch The Departed. But yeah, I think
way to describe events in Hugo from one framing is two kids running around a train station trying to thwart a bumbling sort of conductor security guy played by Sacha Baron Cohen, and it's very cute and sweet. And there's an old man there who runs a stall, but you don't know what he's all about. And turns out it's this whole thing. It's just really innocent cinema that you get in Italy quite a lot, actually, with that sort of stuff. But yeah, I very much recommend it entirely.
Yep.
That's going to be a pattern, guys. We're going to be saying that quite a lot.
I recommend it. Surprise, surprise.
Watch it. This is going to be interesting.
Okay.
So, this is a weird one, because this is the okay. First of all, Silence. Silence is a 2016 film with, although Liam Neeson's there, the primary cast is Andrew Garfield, Adam Driver, a bunch of other people. It's about Portuguese Catholic priests going to Japan after Japan did their, I can't remember the name it was, but they basically just, when they were closing off the border for the Tokugawa era, they basically just killed all the Christians and only allowed the Dutch in one port at the bottom. I think maybe Nagasaki. Just like, yeah, you can come in for trade and stuff, but you cannot come in. If you bring Christian stuff in, we will fucking melt you in a pot. It's like Jesus hell. I mean, like Shogun, all this stuff is about this whole period of time. It's a novel, and it's a really good one. It's all about faith and commitment to that sort of stuff, and also missionary and all kinds of stuff, basically. Stuff that Scorsese grew up on as a child, effectively. And it's a passion project. He's been trying to get off the ground since the 90s, and he's only just made it in again, formative year 2016. The other one is, for lack of a better word, the most sequelizer-y thing we can do. It proves the concept of what we do works. When we say, like, who are you getting as a director? Now, hear me out, this. Because The Color of Money is a sequel to The Hustler. And it's so weird because The Hustler is a 1959 film, by the way, with Paul Newman, and it's a great movie about Paul, and it was then updated in 86, I want to say 85, 86, and it's a great Paul movie. And again, it's got Paul Newman coming back in that same iconic role, and it's got Tom Cruise as this, again, 86, very upstart career. He's around Top Gun era, and this is like, this is intense, this is insane. But again, it's like, hang on, so let me get this straight. You've just done some huge films in your career. You're doing very well so far. You're an up-and-coming guy. You know, Raging Bull's been a thing fairly recently. What's next? I'm going to do a sequel to a Pool movie from the 50s. It's like, you're doing what? But obviously, we have to remember the 30-year cycle. Like, we always talk about this with Back to the Future. People think Back to the Future is an amazing movie that talks about the 80s and loves it. No, Back to the Future is saying about how things were better in the 50s. So you have this 30-year cycle resurgence. So yeah, so this is a really interesting set of Scorsese films because they're not ones that big fans of Scorsese are like, oh, I fucking love Goodfellas. Oh yeah, Raging Bull. Do you like this too?
My favourite's The Colour of Money, said almost no one. Yeah.
So again, as always, guys, have you seen either of these?
Yes, I've seen both. I hadn't seen The Colour of Money until last week, until I watched it in preparation for this stream. But I had seen Silence before, upon your recommendation, Mr. Stogden. That was the famous they should have swapped the casting that you discussed on the show previously.
Adam Driver should have been the lead, and
Adam
Garfield
Driver
should
and
have been
Garfield should swap over. Yeah,
not discrediting their performances, but switch that shit.
Yep.
I have seen The Color of Money. I have not seen Silence.
Oh, very interesting.
Okay, interesting. So, Rotten Tomato stuff. Silence 2016, as you said, Matt. 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. So still pretty decent, pretty high.
Pretty decent.
Color
for us, that's like what? Isn't that what like? I can't remember what was like. Sorry, my apologies. We open like oh, here's like a really good film we've done this season. Bang, 80s. Oh, that's pretty damn like Die Hard or something. But yeah, sorry, do carry on.
Color of Money slightly higher at 89%, as you said, coming out in 1986.
Again, these are such high scores.
Yeah. This is like, I mean, there's some of the lower ones, 89, whatever.
Yeah. Let's do it. It's pretty okay. It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But yes.
Again, when Scorsese makes an okay film, it's still better than 90% of all the other films.
True. Do you guys have any immediate gut reaction with regards to this? Liking and disliking. We know what the critical consensus is, but as an audience member, what do you guys...
I don't. I wasn't swept away by either film. I wasn't like really blown away or there isn't a huge like, oh, it's obviously this choice, which I think we'll get to very soon, especially once we get into the second round.
Yeah.
I'm not swayed either way particularly strongly. I think because of the performances, I would maybe go for Silence. But it's like I'm not fussed either way kind of thing, if you see what I mean.
It's a light movie versus a serious movie. That's always really tricky to gauge that stuff, yeah.
I was in, I can't remember when you recommended Silence, maybe a year or so ago or something like that.
Probably.
And I watched it a few months ago, I think. And it was like, I was in the mood for something really... That's very spiritual, but like something really thoughtful and thought-provoking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's a good
like when you watch like Calvary and stuff like that, you're like, I need some real dark drama shit to like sit and think about stuff and talk about feelings. Lads, right? Men, we talk about feelings and
historically we always have,
and football and cars. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, Silence would be my pick. That's my official vote. Matthew,
yes,
how about you?
Yeah, it's Silence.
Nice.
It's about Catholic weebs.
I'm not saying I saw that one coming, but I saw that one coming.
The Color of Money is a very fun, silly romp, and there's a lot of cool because again, in the 80s, I fucking love Paul Newman. He's a cool motherfucker, pre-jumping on a couch sort of shit, people were like, Tom Cruise can do no wrong, rather than like,
that was before Tom Cruise went, by the way, I'm a Scientologist and I'm mental. Yeah.
So he was literally the coolest of the cool, and it's like, this is such a cool movie.
He's fucking Maverick. He's the coolest dude in the world.
Yeah. Whereas Silence is like, this is grim.
Obviously, I haven't seen Silence, so I don't get a vote.
Sure.
As is proper. But I would say fucking Werewolves of London in The Color of Money is such a great scene and a great music choice.
Yeah, I give you that. Okay, we haven't talked about it enough. Scorsese picks music well. We haven't talked about Tarantino,
he does, yeah.
Except it's always fucking Rolling Stone. Give me shelter.
Yeah.
Right, so Silence goes through for now. This is a fucking tricky one. Because they're weird films. So what we have here is 1997's Kundun, which is about effectively the Dalai Lama, which meant it was a very controversial movie.
It was,
with distribution and just discussion in general. It's fucking pretty. It's really gorgeously shot. It's very, very good. And then it's up against, again, another weird one which proves the concept, 1991, Cape Fear, which is a remake. Well, it's originally a novel, I'm pretty sure, but it's a remake of a 1962 film with the same name. Which again, you don't want to touch a remake. We talk about this all the time. Why would you remake it? Why would you sequelize it? Why would you go back? Why would you make a sequel to the fucking Hustler? Leave it alone, for God's sake. It's Paul Newman. It's classic cinema. Why would you remake a film with Gregory Peck and Robert Mitchum? It's like, holy shit. Why would you? and you do the same thing again. Who are you bringing in this time? I'm bringing in Nick Nolte and Robert De Niro, and you're like, damn, that's cool. And it's such an aggressive movie in terms of what
it is.
These are very like the last two, very different movies. You have to be in a headspace for.
I've been called out in the chat and absolutely nailed by Andy Steen.
Shit, son.
I'm predicting Jack's first experience was Sideshow Bob parodying Cape Fear.
That's gonna be
you absolutely nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. It's like, why is he sat in the cinema smoking a cigar and laughing so loudly? This is so weird.
Yeah.
Love that bit where Robert De Niro steps on a bunch of rakes.
Yeah.
And then performs Gilbert and Sullivan.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think
and he is an Englishman. He does the HMS Pinafore for like 6 hours. Yeah.
What are the old what are the stats on this one as far as the critics are concerned? Because again, this is the 90s period, very weird. I say with 90s period. The 90s period started with Goodfellas, but then it got like
Would you believe it? They're both 75% on the dot.
Really
interesting.
I found that very interesting.
That kind of makes sense because people are like, well, obviously it's good, obviously it's well made, and it's a great movie, but I don't get it. Why do you do this?
Yeah.
Very. I'm not gonna lie. Right out of the gate, it's me first, but I'm not gonna vote just yet. But I'm very torn by this. I'm not sure.
I've not seen either of them.
Oh, Tim!
I've not seen Kundun.
So it's me and arguably Jack and you
and
find
the
people.
chat, I guess. Yeah.
And this is what the chap says. I haven't seen shit. Okay, so yeah, sound off, everybody. What are you thinking? Help us with you, unless you're in YouTube. In which case, please feel free to put this in the comments. We do like you guys genuinely saying, I would have gone for this. You guys are fucking idiots. But yeah, let's have a wait a moment just for that to
shout out from John Scarrett. Bart, do you want to see my new chainsaw hockey mask? Sloma comes running in to Bart sleeping. Oh, there we go.
No, you see, in German, it means the Bart.
The Bart. The. Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, nobody who speaks German could be evil. Oh, God, that era of The Simpsons was so fucking good.
It's so
that
good.
That is an all-time great episode as well.
Yes.
Called Cape Fear with an extra E on the end.
Yeah.
Which is season 5, I believe. I'm rewatching The Simpsons at the moment, and
nice.
Season 5, like between season 3 and season 8, is like one of the best runs of television ever. It's just legendary episode after legendary episode.
Shout out to Alex Spencer Dale, my often co-blogger, he's been going through The Simpsons.
It's hardcore.
Season by season, trying to track kind of does the premise of like those as the golden years and the modern ones being absolute shit is whether that's true or not. Yeah.
People are just putting quotes from The Simpsons in the chat.
That's not helping us already.
Hello, Bart. Remember, you're Homer Thompson. I think he's speaking to you. Oh, so good. Anyway, let's get voting. I haven't seen Kundun, so I'm out of it. Tim, you haven't seen anything. Matt, what is your pick? And then we'll discuss it with the chat as well.
Okay. My pick would be Kundun.
Interesting.
I have one reason only. Because I actually kind of understand the whole, the exact same thing on the ratings list. And the only reason I think that is because I know it's an re-adaptation of a book, but one's a remake. And that's going to get us in trouble later because so is The fucking Departed. But get back to that in a minute. Kundun is just a bold thing to do. Because I love that, it's like, we want this. It's like, fuck you. I'm making this movie. And like, holy shit.
I think Kundun's also good for the awareness that it raises for the plight of Tibet. And
definitely.
Various things going on there.
That's true.
Whereas Cape Fear is just like, hey, watch Robert De Niro be horrible.
Literally, Robert De Niro being fucking terrifying.
To make some awful, lecherous remarks to like Jessica Lange and Juliette Lewis. I think.
Kundun because Cape Fear original was better.
Go.
There you go from Andy. So there's a vote
Peck
there.
and Mitchum are fucking fantastic in that original. That's a terrifying 50s movie.
Cape Fear because of oversized cigars. Thank you, John.
That's a regular cigar, thank you. A decent Robusto.
John, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Sometimes
it's a really muscly Robert De Niro.
He is weirdly ripped in that, isn't he? He is just in like raging bull shape. He is,
who's in better shape? Robert De Niro in Cape Fear or J.K. Simmons in Justice League?
Oh, J.K. Simmons is terrifying.
Yeah,
for the man who wears nothing but a huge detective overcoat for the entire movie, but is absolutely shredded underneath for some reason, to the point where everybody was like, "Who's this jacked Father Christmas motherfucker?" Yeah. Wait, that's J.K. Simmons? And it's just him in the gym with his massive fucking beard and these gigantic veins in his arms that were just
he's
terrifying
enough as a person and hilarious as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Then have we seen Whiplash? He's fucking terrifying.
Fucking that plus muscle is like, oh wait, he's angry, calculating it, and immensely muscular. Oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So that's my vote. What do we get? What's the general? Because again, I feel this is one of those ones that people haven't seen. Maybe.
We've got a few. Cape Fear because it's the only one I've heard of. We've got a couple of Cape Fears and one Kundun, so it looks like it's still split because you picked Kundun, so it's 2-2.
Well, we say Sequelisers trump the audience.
I would say,
I feel
my vote's counts too.
Go for it. Okay, go for it.
If anyone would like to argue with me, please feel free to meet me in the car park outside. And fuck you.
I vote Cape Fear because Kelsey Grammer.
It's 2. No. Right.
There's also.
Sorry. I was gonna say we're now at a point where we've got an actual full internal
full-on brackets.
Tim, what were you saying?
People wondering, there is also a Kundun parody in The Simpsons at one point.
Of course.
When Homer, I believe it's when Homer becomes the chief of the stonecutters. And he runs through the banners like a shot in Kundun.
Yeah.
I believe that is the parody.
A weird moment in The Sopranos, I think the first season, Chris Maltasanti, and they see Scorsese going into a club and say, oh, Scorsese, and he just shouts out, Kundun! I liked it! Because I think Scorsese might have been a producer on Sopranos at one point, maybe. Mm-hmm. Either way.
Yeah, he was.
His films are fucking referenced enough in the movies, in the series. So we have a bracket now. We have a full working top 16.
Nice.
Now it gets difficult. Don't know.
Get the juicy stuff.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Right. Okay. The one we haven't mentioned is 1990's Goodfellas, which is one of the greatest movies of all time.
96% on Rotten Tomatoes, with an audience score of 97%.
Yeah. And again, an adaptation technically because it's a biopic of Jonah Hill.
Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Absolute stellar cast, as you can imagine. You can see Ray Liotta with that infamous laugh.
Inescapable performances.
Yes.
People think of like literally Ray Liotta. Actually, half of the fucking cast in this thing, Lorraine Bracco and stuff. You think of like, oh, could you tell me like what you think about this person? Goodfellas via the Animaniacs. You do think this is what they they are versus The Age of Innocence, which is a fantastic movie, literally a couple of years later. I think Tim's up first for this one, and I think, if I'm honest with you, I think this is going to be quick.
Yes, I would hope so.
Yeah, I think Goodfellas, because it's one of the best movies of all time.
We've even had 2 people in the chat pick Goodfellas, even though they haven't seen Goodfellas.
Yeah. Well, the cultural influence.
Goodfellas, because it's fucking Goodfellas. I've never seen it, mind. Brilliant. Yeah. Thanks, John.
It's the choice of music, the smash cuts, the editing, the storytelling, the direction, the long shots with the narration, as damning as it can be of an entire part of an American subsect of culture. It's still a fucking very accurate portrayal at times. And we talk about Mean Streets, for example. Some people go, "Oh, I fucking knew people like this." that kind of stuff. So Jack, your vote I assume is
obviously Goodfellas, yes,
and mine is too. So that's a clean sweep, and that's our first clean sweep. Unsurprisingly,
I suspect it won't be the last.
No, this is a weird one. I haven't talked about either of these yet. So we have the Joker.
You beat me to it, you motherfucker.
Yeah. So 1982's King of Comedy.
Joker prequel.
Proto Joker, with Robert De Niro and Jerry Lewis. And the 19 or 20?
2019, yeah.
Sorry, because of pandemic, it becomes hard to do. 2019 Netflix movie, which shouldn't mean anything other than the fact that he can go on for 3.5 fucking hours. The Irishman, again, bringing in some huge talent with De Niro and Pacino and Pesci and other people, and Ray
De
Romano's
Niro, Pacino,
great.
Pesci, Anna Paquin, Harvey Keitel.
Fucking hell.
I was surprised when Stephen Graham, the Scouse bloke who shows up in a bunch of TV, just shows up. I was like, what's he doing in a fucking Scorsese movie? How weird.
I mean, he was great in Boardwalk Empire as Capone.
He is great in Boardwalk. He's great in Line of Duty. He's in loads of stuff. He's great.
Yeah.
Question from John. Is it as long as the Snyder Cut? No, it's not. It's 3.5 hours long, not 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Because that matters.
It is still a Scorsese-paced film. So it's still,
it's an afternoon. It's an entire afternoon.
Yeah, it feels longer and slower than the Snyder Cut because
it does not feel longer than the Snyder Cut.
That's true.
It feels longer than the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, but you were not. That's fair.
We're not talking about the Snyder Cut again. We spent nearly as long as the Snyder Cut itself talking about the Snyder Cut. We are not retreading that ground. We don't have time. Anyway, 1983 King of Comedy is 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, compared to, as we said, 2019's The Irishman, which is 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. I have seen both. I watched The Irishman in preparation for this stream. That film's long as fuck. Tim, have you seen both?
I have seen neither.
Oh, we're in one of these situations. Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. Matt, you've obviously seen both. We don't even ask at this point.
No.
If you're new to the streams and new to Sequelisers, Matt has seen all of the films.
Yeah.
Every single film that's ever been filmed, Matt has seen the film.
Wink.
Yeah.
So this is actually a very tricky one because, like we said with others, I still recommend it. King of Comedy is a very acquired taste, in my opinion. There's some great performances, great bits in it, but I don't think it's necessarily as spectacular as it has been over time. And also, for people who are now watching things like Joker, it's going to feel like a retread, even though Joker is literally...
Joker is the retread, to the point where they cast Robert De Niro as the host in Joker.
Version. Yeah, and that and Taxi Driver are the reason we have Joker. And The Irishman... It's a commitment, as you said. It's an afternoon. It's a commitment. You have to go into, and you have to go in with a certain frame of mind about what it was like at the time with Jimmy Hoffa and all that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of things that it doesn't. It takes 3.5 odd hours, whatever it is, but it doesn't explain certain things to you. Even though you're like, wait, why is this significant? It's like, don't worry about it. And there's a beautiful moment whereby the music, in terms of score and soundtrack and all that stuff, at one point stops. And it's usually Scorsese being very clever, and he's doing it to say, like, this character is going through a very difficult time, and he's actually thinking about what he has to do. And the moment he's asked to do it, to the moment it happens, there's no music. So you can think, right, now it's real. Now it's lived in. Now you're in that moment with that. You're not in a film anymore. You're following this guy. But the problem is you have to watch that on the broad scale, because in the moment, that's for like 30 or 40 minutes. And you kind of forget you're doing... It's like when you watch like Birdman, and you say, like, they haven't cut yet. It's like, yes, that's the conceit of it. That's the point of it.
That's the whole point.
Shit, I hadn't realised, because I've been watching this for 2 hours, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be Jack first in this case, I think.
I'm going to be real controversial here, and I feel like I am. I don't particularly like either of these films. I found The Irishman long as fuck. Not as long as the Snyder Cut, like I said. But it's just a bunch of old men hanging out and talking for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. To the point, there's a great point from John Scarrett here. I found The Irishman exhausting. Probably should have been a 5-part miniseries.
I like that.
I think that would have worked much better. If it was an HBO miniseries, I think that would and it was slightly restructured and slightly repaced and all that kind of stuff. I think that would have worked a lot better. Yeah. Also, that CGI is fucking distracting. Young, old, but not as old as he is in real life, Robert De Niro, and old, but not as old as he is in real life, every other fucker, because they're all like 100 years old at this point. Like, hey, do you remember what Robert De Niro looked like when he was 60? I'm like, yeah, I guess. Not like that, but close enough. Slightly less wrinkly than 80-year-old Robert De Niro, but sure, I guess. Hey, remember what 40-year-old Robert? Yeah, I kind of do. He's been in films for a long time.
The problem is when you say, "Oh, we've got this technology to de-age someone's face," fantastic, but you still have like an 80-year-old man going, "Oh." That's the thing. Has the shoulders and gait of an old man.
They have the necks of 80-year-old men, and like you can see the jowls like wobbling under the CGI, and like you said, there's the little like hunch and the hold on, like I'm just gonna go. They hunt like and they move like 80-year-old men. And like I can still see that's old man Robert De Niro under all of that quote unquote makeup and effects and
body
stuff.
Double and CGI.
I found it really distracting. And the King of Comedy, I actually watched the Joker and then watched King of Comedy. And was like, well, I don't like Joker either. So it's like,
no, I'm not saying because you enjoy it, but you already have that experience in a way.
I was like, oh, I've heard it's referencing this thing, and obviously that was the big talking point online when Joker came out and it won all the awards and shit. I was like, okay, I'll watch King of Comedy. It's fine. It's Robert De Niro being Robert De Niro in the 80s and being a bit creepy and a bit psycho and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Jerry Lewis is good at it as well. Sure. But like another one that didn't blow me away.
King of Comedy was for a long time in the 90s. People would say that's the underrated one. That's the one you're like, oh my God, this is great. And people aren't watching it enough. That was what people would say when it was on VHS and DVD before the era of Blu-ray. Let's get to
How about you, Matt? What do you think?
Oh, well, I think both. This is the thing. If we're talking about critical acclaim and structural criticism, they're both fantastic movies. They're very well constructed. They do what they do very well and very confidently. Just because it's long doesn't mean it's bad. Just because it's being remade doesn't make it bad at all. But would I actively watch these just to go, oh, I fucking love Scorsese, let me flick that on? No, because if I have a Scorsese hankering, I've got a lot of other things to work with.
There's the other stuff that's in the 90 percentile that we've already discussed and will continue to discuss.
There's plenty of
why watch Irishman when you could watch Goodfellas? Why watch Irishman when you could watch The Departed?
I did say to my mother,
and save yourself 40 minutes of time as well.
Yeah, my mum had
because The Departed is long as fuck. Goodfellas is pretty long, but 3.5 hours. Well, that's true. Yeah. King of Comedy is an hour 41, so that's like about as short as he gets, pretty much.
Yeah, I did work out like what his
average runtime or something.
Yeah.
Oh God. Got to be 2 hours something, right?
I'm not sure if I've still got that data, but yes, I have. Okay, so yeah, King of Comedy is his shortest film.
There you go.
Irishman is his longest. Yeah.
So it's longest versus shortest. There you go.
Yep. And yeah, like the median is over 2 hours.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah. Statistically, the average time for a feature-length movie, by literal statistic definition, is 1 hour 20. Would you believe it?
Weird.
Yeah. My mother said she watched the. Sorry, Jack. The
Snyder Cut. Yeah, you talked about this in the episode.
And I said, you should just watch The Irishman if you want a long film. It's pretty good. And she went, Scorsese. Because she's used to like, you motherfucking cocksucker, motherfucking bang, bang, bang. It's like, yeah, there's bits of it, but it's mostly just old men in the car.
But she's Irish. It's called The Irishman.
Yeah, but Irish American.
You should love it. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Okay.
Scorsese has 8 films that are over 2.5 hours.
Christ.
And only 4 that are under 2 hours.
Interesting. Out of a total of 25 feature-length films. Yeah.
All right, let's do a vote, gentlemen. Let's do a vote. Sorry, Tim.
It's all right.
Matt, you're up first, I believe.
Fuck. Right. Okay. It's Irishman. It's better.
Yep, Irishman as well.
Boom. Nice and easy.
There we go.
Oh, fuck.
Here's a clash.
Okay, so we haven't discussed this motherfucker.
I'm not. That's cocksucker motherfucker.
This literally did... No, that's not fair. This didn't launch De Niro's career, as many people think it did, because that was The Godfather Part 2, a couple of years beforehand. But Taxi Driver cemented him as one of the greatest until...
It's an all-time great performance, yeah.
And then the 2000s happened, and he just sort of decided to stop trying.
Until Rocky and fucking Bullwinkle.
Yeah. So this, again, with Harvey Keitel, spectacular. Jodie Foster, very, very young Jodie Foster. This film led to Ronald Reagan getting shot. Did you remember this?
I mean, he's got to win purely for that.
I mean, yeah, gets my vote.
I can't remember the guy's name now. The guy who was like so, and I'm like really pervy obsessed with. He thought he might be Travis Bickle. He was so obsessed with trying to save Jodie Foster, and in a way, the way he decided to do that would get her attention was to shoot Reagan. The problem is,
listen,
Reagan
I don't care what his thinking was, as long as the end result was I've got to shoot Reagan.
Oh dear. Well, Taxi Driver, unsurprisingly,
I just wish he'd been a better shot.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
No,
1976, Taxi Driver, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, it's one of the all-time greats for a reason.
Yeah, this is actually, I'm not gonna lie, very difficult because Taxi Driver, every bastard knows. I mean, you talk about, you think of Robert De Niro, you think of like Goodfellas and think of Pawns, or you're thinking of, you talking to me? You talking to me? Because I am in Meet the Fockers. This is...
Taxi Driver is on par with Goodfellas at 96% as one of his highest rated movies.
And one that is very, very misinterpreted. People don't understand what this film's supposed to be about, like, at all. They're like, oh yeah, it's, we should all be Travis Bickle.
Do people take that away from that film?
Away from that film.
I mean, to be fair, people did the same thing for the Joker and like, he's our hero. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, then you're the worst.
No, people watch Scarface and assume that everyone wants to be Scarface. Like, you know that he loses everything at the end because he's a fucking idiot, right? You don't.
No, he gets all the women and the cocaine and then a machine gun and everything's fine.
Yeah,
that was what I understood.
First you get the power.
I've seen the gifts. Dear.
This is
anyway.
One is a beautiful, sweet, wonderful love letter to cinema movie,
and the other one is Hugo.
The other is a wonderful mental health deep dive, fucking dark, twisted, dangerous.
And the other
movie.
is Taxi Driver. Anyway, background to me to vote, I guess.
Yeah. Oh wait. Really stupid question. Have we all seen Taxi Driver?
Yes.
Okay, carry on.
Good. But we've both, all of us have seen both of them. We can actually vote, which is nice. I'm voting Taxi Driver. Plain and simple. Tim?
Is it not Matt next?
It's me next, yeah.
No, what? Is that? Oh, yeah, it's that order. Sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
We're a different order on the back end screen.
I am actually genuinely torn. I kind of want to vote Hugo.
Feel free. On your head be it, Matthew Stockton. Matthew Stodgson.
Having said that, I can't. It has to be Taxi Driver. That film is too, for lack of a better word, kind of important. As beautiful as Hugo is. No, fuck you. Hugo, Tim, you figure it out.
Go with your heart. Go with your heart, Matthew.
My heart's full of ash and death. Hugo.
Doesn't matter, Matt. I'm voting Taxi Driver.
Wait,
there we go.
We did it. That's good. I'm okay with that.
But a dissenting voice is always nice.
It's always
do it.
It wasn't clean. It wasn't easy.
Yep.
Taxi McDriver.
Taxi McDriver.
Uber Eats. The story. Fucking hell. Right. So, next up we have Raging Bull, 1980. Some would argue Scorsese's best movie. Again, coming straight out of the 70s into a...
Hold on, just interrupt. Is someone being murdered in the background? That is drunk people outside my window. Singing the It's Friday and Saturday, Sunday, that TikTok song with the guy dancing outside of the car.
Tell them to TikTok themselves off into the fucking sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had to close my window because I live next door to a pub.
Yeah, I've got pubs literally down the road.
People get killed on my road, and as the outtakes have shown,
you had a bunch of stabbings and shit, didn't you?
Got their head bashed in a car, but it was okay.
Oh yeah.
No one's doing it right now, so my audio is clean. So Raging Bull, one of the greatest films. Again, a black and white boxing movie. After people are like riding high with the fun, altruistic, like, oh, Rocky is my guy. He's the underdog story. He's like, what's Raging Bull about? A fat fucking stand-up comedian, basically, who used to be an amazing boxer called Jake LaMotta, and how he was abusive and horrible and aggressive, and just prime examples of what we've just been discussing about open windows. In a bad neighborhood of New York, screaming, "Bring the steak over here! You ruined it, over here!" And people would shout at the window, saying, "Shut the fuck up!" And he would lean out the window, saying, while the camera's going, saying, "Hey, you want to come down over to you? I'll fuck at you, fucking." That's not in the script. That's just filming on set in New York, on location, and in the area. And it was
so memorably referenced in Spider-Man: Homecoming, when Stan Lee does the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just going to go close my window. I'll be back in a sec.
That's all good, man. It's all good. He literally meant he was going to leave. Raging Bull is a huge one. And again, black and white. There's the music is just astonishing.
Sound design as well is
it's beautiful. It's a really beautifully crafted film. Then we have The Aviator, which is a bit of a weird one because it's a 2004 biopic about Howard Hughes, who is a aviator / war profiteer,
filmmaker
yeah,
crazy person.
Howard Hughes is one of those things that at the 2004 period, a lot of people didn't know who the fuck he was, and he is such a complex, strange, but interesting individual, and much like the Taxi Driver thing about mental health, very interesting story there, played by, again, a huge rising star in the form of Leonardo DiCaprio, and the way the film was shot and the cinematography was fascinating. This sort of almost like faded photography sort of look with the amazing look of like grass, and Kate Blanchett is just astonishing in it, and Kate Beckinsale being really, really good in it as well. It's just a powerhouse film, and both are biopics about very troubled individuals for different reasons.
From very different socio-economic classes.
Very much so. And
am I just a blue square now?
You are a blue square.
Why am I a blue square?
My camera's broken. Oh no!
Have you made a statement?
Let me fix this. Hold on.
Let's see if he fixes it.
Carry on as normal. I'll fix it in the background.
You're a blue
square.
Okay. So while we're discussing this, Jack, you still have audio, right?
Yes.
Good. So, Tim, have you seen both or either of these movies?
I have seen both.
Good. What's your initial reaction to them?
I don't really like Raging Bull.
Very interesting.
I can see that it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Entertainment quality again. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And I just I don't know if it. Yeah, I don't know if it was particularly like the time I watched it at or what that, but I just found it so almost relentless in a lot of ways, and so it ground me down watching it.
I can understand that. It is a very aggressive movie in how it's paced, in how it's shot, and everything about it is subtly trying to beat you up. In that it's like, okay, what's this about? And you start with this sort of like almost operatic score with this black and white, and it's just grim and again, De Niro, flash forward to him being massively overweight, and then flash back to him being in the best shape of his life at that point. And the way that it's shot, it has almost like a 1930s attitude at times. But you can tell, even though it's black and white, that the blood is spraying on people. It is hard when the nose is broken. And it's not just the stuff in the ring as a boxing movie. But it's unlike Rocky, who you're thinking, oh, he's a sweet guy, he's so innocent. It's like, this guy's a wanker. He's an abusive piece of shit. It's, yeah. And, The Aviator.
Yeah, like The Aviator's... I think I really like The Aviator. I think it's slightly underrated in terms of his films.
I agree.
And I think it's a great performance by Leo. Like, I feel like this is maybe one of the first times that he was like, I'm going to win me an Oscar with this one. And I kind of feel like maybe he should have.
I actually think you are right. Who won that year? Let's have a look.
Can't remember who he was up against, to be honest.
So while you're looking that up, Matt,
yes,
Aviator is 2004, 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, compared to 1980's Raging Bull, which is 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. So a clear, 7% difference in terms of that, and audience score is an even bigger difference as well in terms of the difference between Raging Bull and Aviator.
I'm going to put something out here for you boys. Oscars, obviously, a load of bullshit, have a lot of problems, but they're important.
Obviously, yes.
To things, and we know this, and so on.
We did a whole podcast about this, we know.
We did, yes. This is a very strange year where the 5 individuals up for Best Actor are all fucking household name brilliant. 2 are people of color, they're African American. Which again is like, wait, 2 of them, 2 of the 5. That we're considered progressive now, but in 2004/5 at the point, these were the ones that Leo was up against. So Leonardo DiCaprio in The Aviator, Clint Eastwood in $1 Million Baby, Johnny Depp in Finding Neverland, Don Cheadle in Hotel Rwanda, and the person that won, and I've got to say, I still agree with this, Jamie Foxx in Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Bloody hell.
I really like that performance, and I really like that movie personally.
It's a great performance.
That's a hard choice, full stop.
Yeah.
That's a fucker. But yeah, so there we go. Just saying, I know what you mean, Tim. I would agree with what you're saying. So, sorry, Jack, did you say you'd seen them both?
I have seen them both, yes.
Okay. It's me first? Yes, because Jack went first last
time.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to do Raging Bull, boys. Got to be Raging Bull. Tim?
I'm going to go for The Aviator.
Ooh.
Jack.
Descent. Because I was trying to fix my camera, I haven't really said my piece, but it's a clear winner for me. Raging Bull is my pick as well.
Teddy's got a very interesting question, by the way.
Do you guys think the score of Raging Bull would be higher if it was in colour? It's already 93%. Like, what more do you want?
I actually, that's a very interesting question because I think part of the reason it is so good is because it's in black and white. It's like the scene in Kill Bill Volume 1 with the crazy 88, and it's like, they said it's too violent, censor it, and they put it black and white. And because it's in black and white, when it shuts to the boomf and there's blood everywhere, it's kind of worse. It's kind of more extreme. Sometimes when you censor a swear word, it's funnier / more intense. So,
and as we know, Zack Snyder's Justice League was brilliant because it was in black and white.
No. Also, I don't get on with a lot of the we're doing a black and white version. Just
I don't either.
Black and white, fine. If it's not, then it's
not. I fucking love Logan. I absolutely adore Logan. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Fury.
You do not need a black and white cut of that film.
Yeah,
it's fine. Leave it as it is. Same with Mad Max Fury Road. I adore Mad Max Fury Road. One of my favorite films of the last decade. You don't need it in black and white. It's fine. It's got really cool coloring and weird shit going on anyway.
The rich saturation of color is part of
the resaturation and like the night shot with the creepy marsh stuff and all that weird like blue lighting that they use. It's clearly still like 2:00 in the afternoon, but they've done a night shoot, so it's all blue. It's really, really cleverly done, and
Okay, I'm going to the northwest. No, yes, northeast.
Northeast.
Should have a compass on my phone. Right. Okay. Departed. We've mentioned it. Hello. We've mentioned it before as a remake of Infernal Affairs from Hong Kong, and a remake and also heightened. It's a very different way. The way it's not a shot-for-shot thing. Both directors bring a very different thing. It's a lot of stuff going on. It's not just a case of a clean-cut difference. It's very and transport. It's what we say about like transporting a thing from one city to another, one director to another. If you think this is like a line going either way, you can change so much by keeping the story the same, and it becomes a universal thing.
Yep.
So we've mentioned at the start this. We love The Departed. We're not going to come off that one. It's Tim first. Do you want to go straight into the vote?
Well, I haven't seen Silence.
Oh shit! I forgot that. Yes.
But my vote would definitely be for The Departed.
Obviously. 2006 for The Departed, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sorry, yes, thank you, Jack.
There you go. Lower than I would expect, not gonna lie, since we all said it was our favourite. But I thought this was as you described King of Comedy earlier, Matt, that it was in the 90s, like that one's the underrated one. Go and watch that. Everybody talks about Goodfellas, everybody talks about Raging Bull and all these classic De Niro performances and stuff. I feel like people sleep on The Departed, and then I spoke to you two and you said, oh yeah, my favourite's probably The Departed. It's like, well, shit, maybe people aren't sleeping on this.
People love that.
So, yeah.
And it's now also gifable shits. There's so many fucking actors in this one. Boston accents. That wasn't one of them. But, yeah, I mean, fucking hell.
It's The Departed. It's got to be The Departed, right?
Jack, you voting?
Yeah, Departed, yeah. Get stuck in.
My vote doesn't matter.
We've been doing this for nearly 2 hours. Let's get rolling.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it now. I would have voted Silence.
Fuck off. Would you really?
I really would have. I'm sorry.
You just said The Departed might be your favourite Scorsese movie like an hour and a half ago.
You asked me why it's not 100%, though. It's a remake.
Fuck off.
The director of the original said he loved The Departed, but he said he didn't understand why it won Best Picture. Right, so.
A weird thing to say.
Yeah, I know. Shutter Island versus The Last Temptation of Christ.
So this might be the moment when we have some dissension to the highest degree.
Sure.
Because Matthew and I, we've talked about this before. I don't like Shutter Island. I think it's a bad movie.
Oh, you are.
I think it is. I think the ending is terrible. I think it's weirdly shot in places. I think it is the worst Scorsese movie I've seen by a country mile. Just putting it out there. And by the way, Rotten Tomatoes agrees with me. 68% for the 2010 Shutter Island. Have it, Stockton. Have it. The people have spoken.
People can eat my ass.
Yeah, we will. Me and my people will eat your ass.
Okay.
Bouncing over to 1988, The Last Temptation of Christ, featuring a very exhausted poor Willem Dafoe there. 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, so slightly higher. But again, pretty low in terms of Scorsese scores. Yeah. Like 68 is the lowest one we've had so far. So I believe.
I actually am a bit surprised by that. I'm surprised it was so low because again,
I'm not. It's not good. The film, the ending's fucking terrible.
Sorry, Jack, your microphone seems broken. You seem to be talking shit. There was weird because
that made me remove you from this stream, Matthew. I will. I have the power.
He's got the power.
Like a child, like a Zacky child, a snidery little child. So, basically, when it came out, people were pointing out that it was doing so well because it's an adaptation of a novel and a very straightforward one. But because of that, it was doing spectacularly at the box office for Scorsese films, because obviously being his R-rated movies, so few people get to go to see them, and they're long. Have you got? I know you just said about Jack's opinion of Shutter Island. Have you seen both of them?
I have, yes.
Right, sorry. And Tim?
I have not seen The Last Temptation of Christ.
Sure.
But
I know
also don't like Shutter Island.
Yes!
Yes! Pieces of shit.
Yes. There's a brilliant comment from Scarrett here. Shutter Island is the best M. Night Shyamalan film Scorsese ever made.
Actually, I can go with that. That's fair.
Shutter Island had one too many twists. I agree.
You fucking pieces of shit.
Brilliant. Again, I thought I'd come in here with hot takes and controversial things. The people have spoken and backed me up once again.
Unbelievable. Okay, so who's voting first? Is it Tim? No, it's Jack first. I'm just going to put Shutter Island in right now. Just let me. I know you. Yeah, sorry, go
ahead. To be fair, I thought The Last Temptation of Christ was a bit exhausting, and I didn't particularly like that film either. If you end
up voting Shutter Island, that'd be hilarious.
I'm not. Out of principle, I'm voting Last Temptation of Christ.
Okay, fair enough.
Defoe as Jesus, Harvey Keitel as Judas. That's all you need.
Bowie as Herod.
Yeah.
Hello, you're the son of Christ. La la la.
Oh God.
Despite what I've just said, I'm a Catholic boy. Gotta go with Christ.
Fuck off.
Last Temptation of Christ is a better movie. I enjoy Shutter Island.
It is a better
I like
movie.
How it's shot, but Last Temptation of Christ is literally a director saying, "Fuck you, I'm making this." It's also a very. It was so controversial at the time. I was like, why is it controversial? Why is it being picketed? Why is it being, protested?
Because it's Jesus.
Because it showed Jesus thinking about maybe he would have. I was actually tempted. Would I have liked a life with Mary Magdalene as opposed to dying?
But if he doesn't think that, it's not a temptation. That's the whole fucking point. Yeah. If he's not tested, he's not fucking Jesus. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Tim, what would you have gone for? Shutter Island?
I mean,
Shutter Island's the only one I've seen, but I love Dafoe, and I don't particularly care for Shutter Island. So
I think I can zoom any further into his face.
Plus, it's got Bowie in it.
It's got Bowie in it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I read an interesting comparison of
You've got to love a film where Jesus has a penis that Werner Herzog, I believe, has described as terrifying.
Absolutely. There was a good comparison between The Passion of the Christ and The Last Temptation of Christ, is that the Last Temptation of Christ is thought-provoking, The Passion of the Christ is provocative. Like, yep.
That's a very good...
That sums up Scorsese
like
and
that.
Gibson as fucking directors right there. Yeah. And as people.
Okay, moving on, because as Jack pointed out, we have gone on long.
Yep.
Right, so Wolf of Wall Street.
I was thinking we'll be finished by 8. I was like, because I need to start cooking. Oh, shit.
2013 movie, and it's long, and it's DiCaprio coming back.
Yeah, the long boy.
It's another fucking crime biography.
This is 3 hours on the dot almost, pretty much.
80s madness. Against Kundun. Again, gentlemen, what have you seen? What do you think?
Still not seen Kundun, as I hadn't in the first round.
It's been 3 hours. How have you not seen this?
Wolf of Wall Street, obviously, we said 2013. 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is low for an old Scorsese movie. That's lower than I had assumed. But yeah, Tim, have you seen The Wolf of Wall Street?
I have seen The Wolf of Wall Street. I've not seen Kundun, but I do. I really like The Wolf of Wall Street. I think it is.
Me too.
I think it's in a lot of ways it's Scorsese kind of at his most entertaining. It's a very populist film, and I think the main point against it is that people come away from it going, "That's who I want to be," and it's
I can make loads of money too.
Do you not understand the message of this film?
People
The
misunderstand.
same as Taxi Driver. It's the same thing. Yeah. I could be a badass. I could be a rich guy. Like, no, they're
he ended up with
fundamentally
everything.
broken
He didn't
people.
lose everyone and everything.
Fuck.
Yeah, so much CGI
Public are idiots
as well. And that's the thing. It's The Wolf of Wall Street has beautiful CGI because you.
I always bring this up.
Yeah.
It's insane how much of the film is CGI.
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars prequels levels of CGI, where it's Margot Robbie and Leo DiCaprio sat at a table, and everything is green screen around them. Just the background, the floor, the walls next to them. Absolutely everything is green screen. Like you cannot tell. It is immaculate. And even like we used Parasite as another example of really cleverly used CGI. Yes. So the bit where they flood the street and stuff, that's real water flooding an actual set that is a street. But everything in the background that is the city in the background is all CGI in the background. And you can't tell because it's a fucking background and they're using it cleverly. They've got real actors going through real water where it matters. And Wolf of Wall Street does the same thing. The bits that they're interacting with and the actors and stuff are there in real places. And then they use CGI cleverly to construct vistas and villas and huge buildings. And, oh shit, that thing wasn't built until 1995. We need to edit that building out. It's the 80s, here you go kind of thing, and edit all that stuff out. It's really cleverly done. And I think it's a really good... And Jonah Hill, fucking amazing. It was the moment for me where I was like, oh, he's not just like, a Seth Rogen stonery kind of character. He's not just the kid from Superbad drawing all the decks. That guy can actually fucking act.
This and Moneyball was everyone starts saying, hang on, is he getting more nominations than fucking Gary Oldman? And you're like, what? Yeah. So I believe, because I've completely keep losing track of this, I think this one is Jack. No, it's me first.
No, I just voted. It's you.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep.
Tim?
Yeah,
I know you couldn't do it, but would you?
But yeah, I really like Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, Jack, you're Wolf of Wall Street as well.
Same.
Tremendous fun.
Yeah, good.
I wonder if Wolf of Wall Street is a little dark horse here. I do wonder.
I think it's a sneaky one. I think it's him and his powers.
Considering it's only 79 on Rotten Tomatoes, it might sneak past a couple of other big hitters.
That's a good point. Right, up against the last of our, discussing, because it's, we haven't discussed them before.
And then we'll whip through the other ones.
Yeah, 1995 Casino, which a lot of people saw as being like Goodfellas Part 2 because it was a lot, reuniting Pesci and De Niro.
Yeah, it's Pesci and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
And it's about, obviously casino life in Las Vegas and the mob. The other one is Gangs of New York, which is 2002, about Irish immigrants, basically, against natives. And it was a very interesting one coming out in 2002 about the nature of, like, I'm a rightwise born American here in New York, and you dirty foreign invaders. And it's like, yes, but by contemporary standards, all the people now saying, you got to get the fuck out of New York. I've been born here. My family's from here. Are the people who are being called immigrant the first time round, and getting straight off the boat from Ireland and various other places in Ellis Island straight onto the fucking the line for the military to fight in the Civil War. And the fact that it's just the violence in the streets, and the 5 points in the neighborhood in New York, which Charles Dickens went to and said was worse than London, that he was writing about. And by the way, but this should be clear. I was mentioning about my favorite Scorsese film with this one, and also the fact that I haven't mentioned much about Casino, leaning very heavily on which one I'm going to go with this one. What about you guys? What have you seen? What do you think?
I've seen both. I like both. Put it that way.
Fair.
Same here.
Yep.
I think they're both very good films.
I agreed.
Let's get some numbers.
Let's get some numbers, shall we? So 1995's Casino. And again, these are some interesting numbers here. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, with an audience score of 93, which
it wasn't Goodfellas.
Yep, pretty much.
That's all it was. It's a great movie. In fact, if Goodfellas didn't exist, some people would say it's one of his best movies.
It's The Godfather. Yep, it's the Godfather syndrome again. And Gangs of New York from 2002 is 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, long ass fucking film. I wonder if people got a bit put off by the 2-hour 48 runtime. Thank you, Martin.
As well. It's a film about New York, a few months after 9/11.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like 6 months after 9/11, I believe it is. Let me just double check. March of. Oh no, wide release in December, so about a year later.
Yeah,
about a year after 9/11. But still,
people were like, "Don't want this right now."
Daniel Day-Lewis is great, but yeah.
So.
It's a weird one. Fun fact, by the way, from Andy Steen. Daniel Day-Lewis time traveled so he could get the feel for his character, Billy the Butcher. There you go.
I believe he can do
He's
it.
a method actor. Yeah, real fucking method. He did talk and live like Abraham Lincoln for like a year and a half or whatever the fuck he did for Lincoln.
He learned to be a cobbler for something.
Yeah,
he
was in
Yeah.
Well,
and learned to box. Just literally became a boxer for like 3 years for no reason. Thanks, Dan.
I remember Liam Neeson talking about him saying about how they're on set, and I was like, "Oh, good morning, Daniel," and he's like, "Hello, priest," and it's like, "Oh, he's still in character. Well, I won't fucking bother then."
I'll ask him how his wife and kids are, but it can't be asked.
No, it's too exhausting. And the fact that everyone looks like they're on set, and that's great, but Daniel Day-Lewis looks like he actually genuinely slicked and did not wash his hair. It's got proper, like, it's a Leonardo DiCaprio is an astonishing talent. And I know he was just young at the time, but my God, Day-Lewis just makes mincemeat of him. And everyone else.
Yeah.
And again, we have to
you
about
remember the Butcher from this more than anything else.
And a great performance from Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
I underrated in this. Right. Let's get some
and Jim Broadbent and John C. Reilly.
I was just about to say John C. Reilly.
John fucking C. Reilly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, one of those guys are like, oh god, John C. Is he going to do his sort of funny bullshit? Like, is he going to be in Step Brothers? Or he's actually he's really fucking good. Oh, thank God for that. You never know which John C. Reilly you're going to get.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Tim, you're up first.
John Firth Clark's put it nicely. I forgot Leo was in Gangs of New York. Exactly. He's top billing, by the way.
Yeah.
I always forget his character name in this, and I just want to call him Valjean. Because it's something like
Amsterdam Vallen is his name.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I always
Amsterdam Valjean.
See, what's interesting to me is a lot of people slated his accent at the time, saying, "Oh, what's this sort of weird Irish accent he's doing?" And it's like, if you're playing a character who was a child, like maybe like 5-6 years old, or whatever it's supposed to be in theory, and then you get swept up into like the very oppressive and aggressive, not necessarily adoption system, but the orphanage system in a very abusive time run by the church, as it were. Of course, your accent's gonna be a fucking weird hodgepodge mess. That's the whole point. Now, whether it was intentional or not, who fucking knows? But yeah.
I'm gonna go for Gangs.
Gangs from.
I really like it. I think again, it's him doing something slightly different. Whereas as good as Casino is, and in the fact it's not Goodfellas, but it there's a reason that people were like, oh, it's not Goodfellas. Like you're treading in the same water. Whereas Gangs of New York is really different, and a period of history that doesn't really get examined a lot. So I like it for that. And great performances, great direction.
Yeah, it doesn't get examined outside of the fact that, as I say, the American Civil War is going on, and in the exact time that Steven Spielberg's Lincoln is happening, this movie's happening. You think, oh yeah, New York was still a thing.
Yeah.
Round to me, right? I'm going Gangs of New York as well. Love that film. Yeah. That's again one of the ones my dad introduced me to. One of his favorite films, and I've seen it 2 or 3 times now.
Your dad's got some good taste in films.
It's powerhouse. Yeah.
I agree, by the way. Casino's got some beautiful fucking shots and some great moments.
Yep.
But Gangs is Gangs.
Some of my favorite Pesci dialogue ever is in Casino. He's fucking fantastic in that movie.
Yeah. Terrifying and aggressive, but also slightly subdued for Pesci at times. It's interesting.
Terrifying and aggressive, which is pretty subdued for Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
We're into the real fucking woods here now. We're into some dark territory, deep grass. I don't think things don't mean anything, but whatever. Right. Goodfellas, Irishman. We discussed our opinions.
Yep.
It's Jack up first. I say we just vote on this because it's going to be clean.
Goodfellas, 100%.
Goodfellas, Tim?
Haven't seen The Irishman, but definitely Goodfellas.
That is the right answer, Tim.
Goodfellas, moving on. Goodfellas, next. Brilliant suggestion from Jonathan Clark. Sorry to pause us a little bit.
Please, don't
Scorsese Les Mis with Leo and Day-Lewis as Valjean and Javert.
Oh!
Amazing. Amazing.
Here's the thing. I would say yes, but an adaptation of the book, not the musical.
Yes,
no. Full music. Just literally just recut the 2012 version and just...
The book is so different.
Edit. You can do like face app stuff. Just edit their faces in. Obviously re-record Russell Crowe singing, because no.
But I guarantee you that neither of those two motherfuckers can sing a note.
Daniel Day-Lewis can, I think.
Day-Lewis would learn.
Yeah. He'd find a way somehow.
He's like
but I can't see Leo being a good singer.
But yes, I think a dramatic Victor Hugo Les Mis. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
That would be spectacular.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, there's so much people.
The only thing I think that my only problem I'd have with that is that I feel like they'd be a little bit too far apart in age.
You want them semi-similar because so much time passes, they have to be at least.
Yeah. Because Valjean becomes an old man by the end of it, even though Hugh Jackman just put some grey sideburns on and then like, oh, I'm so old. Everyone just dies of nothing in that film, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, that's what you died of in the old days.
It's true.
I mean,
fall off a bridge.
You
got a cold
and crack your back on the sink bit. That's such a gross fall. Why did they add that like comedic extra bump that he needed to take? It was such a weird choice. Anyway,
why did Tom Hooper do so many things in that film?
Fucking.
Anyway, we're not talking about those. We're talking about.
We're not doing a fucking Tom Hooper director showdown. That's for sure. Okay, De Niro classic versus De Niro classic.
Like
I think Tim's voting first, and he's.
Enjoy that, Tim, pretty clear.
I have a clear answer on this one. Taxi Driver, because I'm not keen on Raging Bull, and I think it's a better film. I think they're both harsh watches,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah, one of those you need to be in the right mood for it kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. But I think Taxi Driver's better. Jack.
I'm also going to go Taxi Driver.
Oh.
Much as I love Raging Bull, Taxi Driver is one. It may be the De Niro performance I think of. Like it's his career-defining performance for me.
Yeah.
We have got a vote for Raging Bull from Andy. I'll be outnumbered, but Raging Bull for me. Taxi Driver is great, but it's not something I can watch multiple times. Agreed. It's not like I'll watch it once a month.
I'll put
Make
that
myself
on.
feel better about life. Like no. Yeah. Here's a good shout from John as well. Cats would win the Hooper Showdown because, of course, it would. We will do a commentary of that once we're vaccinated. It's fine.
My vote would have definitely been for Raging Bull, I'm afraid.
I thought so. Yeah.
No, but then Taxi Driver, Raging Bull. As much as people say, "Oh, I can't believe it," it's like, can't you? It's like, to be fair, no one's gonna be that outraged because once you start realizing whichever way, yeah. Anyway, point is, we're now in the top right again. I feel this is another clean sweep. It's Jack first.
It is. It's The Departed, of course.
It's Departed. Tim?
Yeah, Departed.
Okay. And last, before we get into the real weeds, this is the only one that we're like, what the fuck? Okay. Wolf of Wall Street, Gangs of New York.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Clean cut. This isn't a clean cut.
No.
Is it me first?
It is.
It is.
They're both period films.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
One's from 30 years ago, one's from 100.
Stop stalling. Answer the question, Stodgson.
Gangs of New York.
I thought you were going to pick that.
This is a real tricky one.
I feel
this might be the
my
toughest
reasoning
one
being,
so far.
Wolf of Wall Street can be a little too indulgent with its pacing at times, whereas Gangs of New York doesn't feel as slack. Because he hasn't got as much. He's got creatorial control, obviously, but he's not like, hey, 3 hours? Ooh, let me just keep punching everything out at 3 fucking hours. That's my only. Yeah. And more Irish people.
I'm also going to go Gangs.
For the record,
Jack.
I would have gone Gangs as well. It would have been a clean sweep.
Wow. I thought that
it's
was
a very, very close clean sweep, but it's a clean sweep nonetheless.
Should we have a quick look at the broad picture?
Let's check out these broads.
I mean,
Sure.
These Bill for Broads.
Let's have a look at these.
I
The
mean,
final
let's face
four.
it, this is a.
Oh, it's a hell of a top four.
Fuck me. Right.
Right.
Oh, God. Again, sorry, it's just around a little bit there because my magic mouse. Right, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver. It is Tim first. It's the Indiana Jones
Give you some time, Tim. We had a brilliant comment from Stuart. I know I should have been paying attention to the screen, but I've been watching Cape Fear instead, and that is the Cape Fear from The Simpsons.
The episode.
So.
Simpsons,
yes.
Yeah.
With the extra
Of
E.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
If you need time, I can sing the HMS Pinafore for you if you like.
I like that.
No, I
We
know.
sail
I know
the
what
ocean
go with Gangs
blue
as
when the
well.
salty ships are beauty.
People side with the last one, so that's quite interesting.
I'm
Soberman and true.
I won't drag it out too long. I'm going for Goodfellas.
Poor little buttercup, poor little... I'm going for Goodfellas as well, yeah.
Done.
Goodfellas, done. Ban.
I can't not go Goodfellas. It's so iconic.
There
There we go. Age of Innocence. Oh no!
God, I got
There we go.
roll through. There we go. Thank God.
Irish versus Irish, and then Irish versus Italian.
I'm dreading this, and whatever is the
first.
next one. It's The Departed for me. Like I said, it might be my favorite Scorsese film. I fucking love that movie.
I've got to go with my favorite Scorsese. It's got to be Gangs of New York because The Departed is still a remake.
Tim! Tim! Oh no!
I'm going for The Departed.
That's fair. No one can fault that. Nicholson giving just the most beautiful performance. There's so many good actors in it. I went past it twice.
You did.
Fucking, like, Matt Damon is great in that film.
Oh, god damn.
He's
He is.
so hateable.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin, Fear of Farmiga. There's so many fucking amazing people in that one. Now, here
Ray
is
Winston.
Ray Winston. God damn, yeah.
Winston's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Ah, brilliant.
Okay. So
Oh god.
this is a dark horse. Okay, let's put it out there that these two might be some of the greatest films ever made in terms of like the American crime films, American Italian crime, American Irish crime. This is it for a lot of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And also career high performances for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also,
this probably is what I would have predicted as the final as well. I mean, we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
And Andy Steen got the final two, right, as we mentioned at the top of the stream as well.
Yeah.
GIF versus GIF.
And I think The Departed came at a time when a lot of people were accusing Nicholson of getting lazy. And as much as his performance is kind of in line with a lot of other stuff that he does, it's still him, like, showing up.
His
like
presence in the scenes he's in,
Jack
and not
being
the
Jack.
talked about is
yeah.
Whew. Oh, it's me first. Shit. Oh fuck.
Yeah, I don't know why you like. Oh, I'll let you guys decide. Oh no, shit, it's me.
Cock. Okay. Can I do this? Can I be like a...
First thing that comes to your mind. Go on, Duncan.
Yeah, all right. The
Do it.
Departed. I just said it was a remake, but The Departed.
Oh! Wow.
And yet, if it was Gangs of New York, I would have said Goodfellas. So fucking, I don't know. Come on, it's all bullshit.
No.
No, I think The Departed. Shit.
Tim?
I really fucking love The Departed. But that shot at the end where the rat crawls across...
Don't do it to me, Tim. Don't make me do it.
...is so unnecessary. So I'm going to vote for Goodfellas.
Oh no!
Jackie boy!
The weight of the world on my shoulders. We put far too much pressure on ourselves.
Scheduled up there so we can see. Nice.
Oh my god!
Who is it? Who is the winner? What is the greatest Martin Scorsese film of all time? Jack Chambers.
Oh god!
I love that although it's completely level between us, and that's how this wonderful three judge structure works.
Yeah.
When it comes down to this, it's all like, yeah, Jack, what do you fucking think?
I've got a couple of votes for The Departed in the chat, making me not want to punch Mark Wahlberg. That's why I love it as well. The Departed, in fact, celebrate. I'm watching it later because of this win. Oh, that's a bold claim there, Andy. I will watch the winner and have seen none of them. Wow. So this is me picking what Teddy is going to watch later. Yeah. That's bold. Fucking hell.
Either way, you're in for a delightful film.
You're in for a damn treat, son, yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, you pick the top four and watch all four of them. Watch Goodfellas, watch Taxi Driver, watch The Departed, and watch Gangs of New York. Also, watch all other 10, 15
and then watch
every
Martin Scorsese film.
Yeah. Work your way through the list. You'll have a fantastic time.
And I think even the ones we missed off from his filmography.
There's a few small ones.
There's a couple that we missed off, and they're still great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so there's still like his really early stuff. So like, Who's That Knocking at My Door, and the really like early 60s, early 70s stuff, and none of the documentary stuff he's done as well.
Is it Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore or something?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I think is probably the most famous one that we haven't got on here.
Yes.
Yep. Which is 1974.
It wouldn't have got far.
Vote Goodfellas because I want pizza. If I had both in front of me right now and was going to watch one right now, I'd watch Goodfellas.
I bring up Goodfellas in the food episode a lot.
You do.
Because it's just a cookbook of how to eat things. But Departed has some great food references as well. So
yeah,
cheesy,
cranberry juice.
Yeah, cocaine. Oh no, hang on.
Delicious cocaine.
Yeah.
I'm getting called out now.
You're getting called
Stop
out.
stalling, Jack. Fuck it, The
It's
Departed.
done. It's done.
Bang, done it.
It's done.
Fuck you.
Mean Streets.
It's one of my favorite films ever, and Mean Streets has won it.
I mean, if
there
I'm
we
being,
go.
If I'm being
Image of
honest,
Jack
Big old-
Nicholson.
Hold on, let me. There you go. Full screen, big old Jack,
if I'm being
and
honest,
not me for once.
if I'm being honest, I would say that all the crime stuff that the mob, mafia, whatever you will call it, stuff that Scorsese's been working up to The Departed. I know it sounds controversial, but it's not just that it's like, here's the 50s. It's like, no, this is a thing. And it's, again, it's an interesting example. I've faulted it for this at times, but it's an interesting example of how, again, it's a remake of a really, really,
Is it
is
it the best
film.
remake?
No, that's the Maltese Falcon, technically.
I mean,
Or The Thing.
Is it though?
Or The Thing.
The thing, my vote would probably be The Thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Departed's got to be up there, right? That's one of the greatest remakes ever.
Because it's different but same. Obviously, the plot's so similar, but the way it carries itself and the translation, it's just it's great. It's great. I'm not disappointed with this. If any of those four, if any of these 10 sort of like top things got through, I would not be disappointed. It's hard to argue.
I mean,
as we said,
I'd be annoyed if like Last Temptation of Christ won. I'd be like,
and you voted for it. How did it get here?
Yeah, but that top four, any of that four could have won, and I'd be happy with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, The Departed, and Gangs of New York are some of the best films ever made.
When we get round to the championship of championships, this one's going to be a hard one to beat as well.
Oh my god, it's going to be such a blast when we get that.
Oh, here we go. Lebowski versus Departed. Wow.
This is, I believe, our seventh. I think our seventh showdown. Maybe.
Is it really? Jesus.
Yeah. And so we therefore have to go for another 9 or 10 of these, and then it's like now we have a crying fit. So yeah, thank you for your patience, everybody. It's been a bit long one today, but obviously, it's Scorsese. What are you going to do?
It was always going to go over 2 hours. Look at the man's run times.
Yeah, we always know. Jack's bum's on the screen. Are you in? Short? Oh, they're just shorts. I thought you were like boxers.
I've got shorts on. Yeah,
I'm very warm. Yeah, so that was really good. Again, I don't know if people would really disagree much. Like, Raging Bull is one of the best movies of all time. How dare you? It's like, yeah, and I lost Taxi Driver. Do you have a problem with that? I mean, that's how it goes the whole way through. I mean, but yeah, June, our next stream. We don't know who it's going to be yet. We discuss it usually the second we say bye, everybody. It's like, who's next? But it's going to be a weird one to follow up.
We'll come up with some ideas.
Yeah.
We always do.
This is a hell of a one to follow up.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, there we go. Departed moves on to the Champion of Champions round. As we said, some of the best films ever made. Go out of your way to watch these films. They are utterly, utterly fantastic. Thank you, all the guys from Patreon who have joined us, and thank you for you watching it on YouTube afterwards if you're watching it, and video on demand as well. We'll be back, and I'll flick back to us now. We'll be announcing the T-shirts soon. Matt's got the Matt's got the Patreon exclusive one on there, which is the red print design.
Boom!
That'll be heading out to patrons.
Little Timmy.
There you go, little minion Tim or Matt's nipple. We'll be posting those out to the £20 or above patrons very soon. And we'll also get the purple design up on the shop later this week as well, ready to be posted out. So it was announced in the last live stream. It's going to be available very, very soon. Now the printing and the packaging is all sorted and stuff. So got that to look forward to.
Got a question in the chat.
Got a question before we go. Does it come in black?
Batman.
No, it doesn't. These are our first. We had a red, we had a black. Doing something a little bit different. It's kind of an off-white, almost like an eggshell kind of thing.
Shall I get request the camera?
Raw natural, I think, is the official color. It does just look white on the stream. Oh no, we don't need that. We don't need that, Matthew.
Lovely.
Oh, it's Matt as flounder. That's unpleasant.
Like an egg shell
Hold
speckle.
on.
But
Hold
also...
on. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on. And he gets rid of me. Oh, right, thanks. Yeah, so let's see if I turn to the lights. Does that help? I don't know if that's helping at all. Hey.
It's disgusting. Anyway, thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll be back next month with another stream, another Director Showdown, and maybe another version of Tim's little keyword battle that we did. That was fun.
That was fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck this fucking
Thank you, guys. See you next month.
Cheers,
Pleasure,
everyone.
as always.